make a difference. Carlton is not totally healthy yet. He's still getting back from the fractured hand, a fractured bone that he had in his hand, the same place that he fractured it last year. But the White Sox entire team happy to have him back there, especially the pitchers that have that catcher behind the plate.
So it's the Yankees against the White Sox from Yankee Stadium, the first of a 3-game series at the stadium. And we'll be back with the starting lineups. Jerry Rice against Richard Dotson after this timeout.
I got dirty an awful lot when I was little. What am I doing here? You know this.
You're playing baseball.
Yeah, that's right. It came natural to get dirty. Johnson's baby shampoo has been great for my hair all through my life. It's strong. It makes my hair look clean. It makes my hair feel clean, and it's gentle. Look at this kid's hair. I think it looks good.
Johnson's baby shampoo, now also with conditioners for extra control.
I shower 4 or 5 times a day. It's never made me cry.
Johnson's for the life of your hair.
For taking charge, for taking pride, for showing what you got inside, for taking time, for staying true, for stepping in, for coming through. This buzz for you.
Beechwood aged for the taste so crisp and clean, so refreshing. It's the king of beers.
This buzz for you.
Finding a luxury car whose owners reported fewer problems than Acura Legend owners sounds like a challenge, unless you know about the Mazda 929. It has more standard luxury features than the Legend, like an automatic transmission, alarm system, automatic climate control, and power moonroof. And while we've known this for quite some time, we thought we'd clear the air for you.
See your Mazda dealer for 929 savings of up to $1,000. Hurry, ends August 2nd.
Participating advertisers in New York Yankee baseball are Budweiser, Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. New York's Lotto, all you need is $1 and a dream. Stay tuned for the lottery drawing later tonight. Canon, so advanced it's the world leader in 35mm photography. The Daily News, New York's hometown paper. Nobody tells it like the Daily News. 9X Yellow Pages, if it's out there, it's in here. And by the New York Yankees.
Welcome back to Yankee Stadium, ladies and gentlemen, as the Yankees are set to take on the Chicago White Sox, along with Tom Seaver and the Scooter, Phil Rizutto. This is George Grande. It is one of the few days of '89 where it's been baseball weather during the course of today. There are some clouds in the area, but should be able to get some baseball in tonight, and a good crowd filing into Yankee Stadium. Still in the area, come out and join us, because we should get a chance to see a couple of familiar faces today. And number 1, Carlton Fisk is back with the Chicago White Sox, back in the lineup to face an old friend of his right here, number 34, Richard Dotson. Dotson will be the Yankee starting pitcher tonight, and this is the lineup that he'll be facing for the Chicago White Sox. Dave Gallagher will be leading off and playing center field, and since he's taken over as the leadoff hitter, he has been a great contributor offensively, and he continues to be solid defensively in center field. Steve Lyons will be the third baseman. Last time the Yankees played the White Sox, he was playing second. Harold Baines remains the designated hitter, and he will be batting in the number 3 position. Ivan Calderon will be out in right field, and he will be hitting fourth. Greg Walker, another man who was missing the last time the Yankees played the White Sox, is at first base. Fisk is behind the plate. Dan Pasqua, who was also injured when the Yankees played the White Sox last time, is out in left field, and he's starting to swing a hotter bat. Freddie Manrique is playing second, and Ozzie Guillen is the shortstop. They'll be facing Richard Dotson. And if you remember, when Dotson came off the semi-retired heap in the Yankee dugout. He made his first appearance against the White Sox out at Comiskey Park, and it was an exceptional performance. He gave up only 1 run in 6 innings, and here are his numbers for the year. Richard Dotson, a different pitcher than when he pitched for the Chicago team and was one of the mainstays that led them to the 1983 American League Western Division pennant. And at that time, Dotson was a 90-mile-per-hour thrower. Now, he's still a fastball slider pitcher with a little bit of a change, but basically, he relies on location for the key to his success. The Cincinnati, Ohio native, who now resides in Sarasota, Florida, was 3 games over 500 in 1988 with an earned run average of around 5. And this year, you saw his numbers. For Richard Dotson, another important performance. And Scooter, it's a different looking White Sox team than when we saw him last time.
Yes, it is, and I think the Yankees are getting a break. The one guy who really does a lot of damage, unfortunately for Ron Kittle, he's on the disabled list and will not be available for this series. He has always hit well here at Yankee Stadium. This guy's not too shabby a ball player, Dave Gallagher, and Gallagher takes the strike on a slow curve. He's batting .289, 1 homer, 21 runs batted in. And I took 1 batter away from you, George. No, 1 strike. You're doing the play-by-play. I got a little excited.
You're the boss. You said
no,
it.
I'm not the boss. That's an error on my part. You got it.
Gallagher takes ball 1, strike 1 from Richard Dotson. Gallagher at .289 has been hitting .290 since taking over in the leadoff spot. Bites on that one out of the strike zone up high, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. He has 6 doubles, a triple, 1 home run, and 21 runs batted in. Against the Yankees, Gallagher is 6 for 25 at .280 and is a .204 career hitter. 6 for 25 this year and .204 in his career. The 1-2 pitch from Dotson. The short and through for a base hit. Gallagher has been doing just that since he moved into the leadoff spot. As you remember, Ozzie Guillen was the man that they had hoped would take over the leadoff position, but he just was not getting on base consistently and was not hitting the ball, so they moved Gallagher up. And Gallagher has been not only hitting well, but just getting on base every other way imaginable, too. He's been walking and has been stealing some bases, and Jeff Torborg, the manager of the White Sox, says he's very pleased with the way he's come along in the leadoff position. Steve Lyons next up. Lyons at .223, playing third base tonight after moving over from second to make room for Fred Manrique as Gallagher leads off first. Just misses outside. Gallagher can steal a base. He's 5 for 7 in stolen bases, and Lyons can handle the bat too. He can sacrifice, and Brookins is in on the grass at third, and he can also pull the ball to the right side. Is a decent hit and run operator. Gallagher leads off first. Mattingly holding him on. Dotson to the stretch and steps off.
You know, I'm shaking my head here, Joe. Excuse me. He made Gallagher look so bad on 2 pitches up and away, and he comes right on the inside part of the plate. I don't understand that kind of pitching.
Gallagher not going. The 1-ball pitch is the low ball 2. Richard Dotson believes in pitching inside, Scooter, and I think sometimes when you're throwing 90 miles an hour, you can get away with a mistake like that. But there, you try to pitch inside and you make a little bit of a mistake, and bingo, base hit. 2 balls, no strikes. Gallagher not going. Pitch inside. Ball 3. The one thing Richard Dotson did not do when he faced the White Sox in Chicago was get behind. He was ahead and limited his number of pitches. And that was one of the reasons he was so successful on a chilly night in the Windy City.
Yeah, got to stay ahead.
3-0 the Lions. That's ball 4.
None of them are even close, and Slord goes right out there, and they got the tough part of the order now with Baines, Calderon, Walker, and Fisk coming. And Fisk was 4 for 4 yesterday.
Carlton Fisk says he may not feel 100%, but so far they've been dropping in, and that's all that really counts.
Yep.
Doesn't it? There's Dallas Green looking on, and as you look at the American League Eastern Division pennant race, with the Yankees 5.5 back in second place, back of the league-leading Baltimore Orioles, Dallas Green knows he needs some good pitching performances from his entire staff. beginning tonight with Dotson. Gallagher's at second. Lyons at first. Dotson deals to Baines. Outside ball 1.
I know Baines has got a bad leg, but Brookins is really playing him deep. He dropped one down on the grass, and he can just cruise into first base.
Espinosa dips in behind Gallagher. Dotson steps off. Baines was really relegated the last 2 years to almost exclusive DH duty. This year he's been able to play in the outfield a little bit, but it's like this hit hard right field down the line. It's way back, and that's gone.
Oh.
You make a mistake to Dave Gallagher, it's a base hit. You make a mistake to Harold Baines, it's a 3-run home run.
Boy, I mean, that was too quick to score 3 runs. You don't have time to get anybody loosened up in the bullpen. Can't let them get too far ahead.
Baines hits his 9th home run on a 1-0 pitch and picks up his 34th, 35th, and 36 runs batted in on the year. He's the man that makes the White Sox offense go, and there's his manager, Jeff Torborg, to his left. He has been exceptional. There's Ozzie Guillen. Perez congratulating him. That'll bring up Calderon. So just like that, one swing of the bat, and another look at it, Scooter. He hits it.
Oh, man. Lifted that leg up. It was perfect timing. He was on the way down with the leg and got into the swing.
Calderon sends this one to right field. Barfield has a long run off his glove against the wall, and it looks like Barfield may have hurt his left arm. Calderon will round second and go into third with a triple. The ball glanced off Barfield's glove, and he jammed into the wall. And he's coming away from the warning track slowly. There's Calderon on third with the triple.
Yeah, you can see Barfield was going to have trouble with the fence there, the way he was going. He's not rubbing, but he did bang pretty hard, and he did almost go down, and he caught himself and fired the ball in.
So Richard Dotson has started in quicksand tonight at Yankee Stadium.
We're going to see that replay shortly. They're making sure they got it set up right. Calderon just missed a home run.
That'll bring up Greg Walker. That pitch inside. Well, the only 2 balls that Dotson has got in the vicinity of the strike zone have been ripped against him in the last 3 batters. That's ball 2. No activity in the Yankee bullpen as yet as Calderon leads off third. This one just misses low and inside. 3-0. Walker's at 198 this year. And 212 lifetime against the Yankees with 8 home runs and 27 runs batted in. And that's ball 4.
All right, he's way off tonight. Both men that he walked on 4 straight pitches.
Billy Connors just went to the phone to the Yankee bullpen, so they'll be getting up pronto for some action there. Now let's take a look at that hit by Calderon to right field. There's Mahorsic, 54, getting up. Here's a look at it, Scooter.
All right, Barfield's cut. He's not cutting straight across. He's going back towards the fence. Then he jumps. He didn't jump and missed. He could have caught that ball with a little better timing. And did not jump at all, did not leave his feet, and then didn't realize how close to the wall he was. And Sax's throw, he tried to hold up on that throw, almost threw it away, but no damage done.
So Calderon remains at third. Walker with the base on balls is on at first, and that brings up Carlton Fisk at 282 with 3 home runs, 11 runs batted in. And in his career has hit 27 home runs against the Yankees with 94 runs batted in.
Boy, he looks big. The way he wears the pants, too, the old-fashioned way up near the knee. That's
ball 2.
You got to tie his shoelace or break it, and instead have to go in the clubhouse and bring another one out.
There are the numbers on Pudge Fisk, the 10-time All-Star. By the end of this year, hard to believe, but if he doesn't get hurt again, he probably will have played more games with the White Sox than as a Red Sox
That's
player.
unbelievable.
If he doesn't get hurt again during the course of the year in this game. Foul down the right field line.
Boy.
Fans kind of jeeringly get on Dotson because it's a strike.
And he was shooting the right field. He's got a big gap between Barfield and the foul line. He's always been a smart hitter, and of course up at Fenway he'd go for that short left field porch. There's a shot. You see Barfield way over in right center.
And he went the other way for some of his productivity last night too. 3-1. Back on the 13th of this month, Fisk hit his 306th home run as a catcher. That tied Yogi Berra for the all-time #2 slot in Major League Baseball and #1 in the American League. There's ball 4. And
got to get him
Albert
out.
Einstein to realize Dotson does not have it right now.
And they got to get him out of there. There might be a lynch party sent down to the dugout pretty soon.
Hey, this is almost an identical situation to what the White Sox had last night. And Jeff Torborg, the White Sox manager, they've had their troubles. Of course, they lost all the beginning games of the series with the Red Sox before winning last night 8-2. Torborg went out, yanked his pitcher, and they were 2 runs down at that time. And as it turns out, the White Sox come back, score 8 runs, and end up winning it.
Got to stop the bleeding some spot. I hope my buddy Jack Grew isn't watching this. He just went into University Hospital for an examination, and he may not be too happy. You got to be up when you go in the hospital, because they're very depressing to start with.
That'll bring up number 44, Dan Pasqua, former Yankee, with the bases loaded, no one out, first inning. Up high, ball 1.
Well, we get a little more stalling time here, or else he's coming out to take him out.
Billy Connor's out to talk to Dotson as Mahorsic continues to warm in the bullpen.
Now, normally Dallas Green takes the pitcher out. This could be an exception. Now he's going to let him in there. I can't believe it, but he's going to let him in there.
I think they're buying a little time to get Mahorsic ready. Pasqua's been swinging well. He hit a couple of shots yesterday. Had a double, run batted in, scored a run. Jeff Torborg said he's just starting to come into his own. Of course, you talk about running into the wall with Barfield out in right field. Pasqua did that at the first week of the season. Injured his wrist and put him on the shelf. Got him off to a slow start. Calderon at third. Over at second is Steve Lyons, Greg Walker rather, and over at first is Carlton Fisk. The White Sox have the bases loaded and no one out. Foul out of play down the left field line. In case you haven't seen Dan Pasqua recently, he's wearing glasses now. Hopes to help him a little bit in seeing the baseball at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No one out, bases loaded. White Sox lead 3-0, top of the first.
That was a pretty good pitch right there.
Another look at it.
Pasqua was that ball was over the plate.
Home plate umpire Larry Young saying and it's 2-2. Hit the right field. Barfield is in. Should have a play at the plate if Calderon goes, and he holds up. The throw is wide. And now Walker runs to third, and they've got Walker caught between second and third. Now they've got Calderon between third and home. The throw to third to Brookins, and he's tagged out.
All right.
Alert play by Alvaro Espinosa, and anything but an alert play by Walker at second base as you look at Jeff Torborg shaking his head. Walker had to just assume that Calderon was going to try to score on the fly ball. Assuming is one thing, but watching it unfold in front of you is something else.
Well, you know what happened? Calderon goes back to tag. Well, this is the end of the play where Walker had already come down and botched things up. But what Walker did was saw Calderon tag up, and he was just bluffing. Brookins puts the tag on him, and then Walker put his head down and started for third. What a big break. And a ball that was the best slider I've seen in a long time, the one Barfield threw from right field.
So the Yankees get the double play, a strange one. 9-2 to 6 to 5.
No, 9-3 was in there first. Mattingly got the ball first. After. I think.
That's right. The throw was wide. He cut off and it squirted away. So the Yankees come up with a strange double play, but something that may be important before this game is over.
Oh, yes.
1 ball, 1 strike to Fred Manrique. He's been red hot at .321. Fisk off first. Walker's still alive at second base. Richard Dotson on life support systems right now, trying to stay alive. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs.
We got to get out of this inning without any more runs being scored. We're going all over Florida tonight. You know, the barbecues are on down there, and they'll turn them all off. Throw the hamburgers away if this continues. Scooter and Ann will be very upset when we play like this.
3-1 from Dotson.
Oh.
Espinosa, it's off his glove, and Walker rounds third. He'll score. Fisk will stop at second.
Boy, he usually comes up with them. That's definitely a base hit, but he's looking at the glove. That's it. He's out of there.
Dotson may have survived this game if Espinosa had been able to grasp that one, but off his glove, base hit, out comes Green, and Mohorsic will be the new Yankee pitcher. While the pitching change is being made at Yankee Stadium, let's take time out along the Yankee Baseball Network for the following message.
Some guys make it look easy. They've got the new moves, the hot hand, because they've got barbecue bag charcoal briquettes from Kingsford. Just light the bag for 1 barbecue's worth of premium Kingsford charcoal. To score some easy points, pick up barbecue bag. Just fire one in there, and you'll have this game in the bag. Barbecue bag from Kingsford, what the pros use.
Johnny Bench, Baseball Hall of Famer.
The Reds do it. So do Krylon Blues. Krylon paint turns everything old Krylon new. Because Krylon goes on rich and beautiful. Dries fast, smooth, and even. Makes whatever you paint Krylon new. Spray on Krylon for a smooth professional finish every time. With no runs, no drips, no errors. Now that's Krylon new.
Krylon.
Until I moved here, I never realized how every block is like a small town. There's a nice corner market. Everybody meets at the coffee shop. My landlady, Lillian, she keeps her eye on everything, including me, the newcomer, up here alone with some boxes and a suitcase.
Come on, you're not alone. You got your phone and you got me.
Before you move, 1 call to AT&T helps put everything in place so you can feel right at home.
I miss you.
I miss you too.
AT&T, we take you right there and keep you this close.
There's the new Yankee pitcher, Dale Mohorsic. His record at .500 in 19 games thus far, 1989. 35 hits in 36 innings. Walked 11 and struck out 17.
Number 13.
He'll be facing Ozzie Guillen, the shortstop for the Chicago White Sox. With 2 runners on, Manrique, who singled in the 4th run for Chicago is on at first, and Fisk is at second. White Sox have pushed across 4 runs on 4 hits, but they've been aided by 3 walks from Richard Dotson. Ball 1. Ian this year is .292 against the Yankees, and a career is .286 against New York. Started the year as a leadoff hitter. Up the middle, Mahorsic on 2 pitches gets out of it. But the White Sox do some damage in the top half of the first inning, getting 4 runs on 4 hits, aided by 3 walks. All of those runs charged to Richard Dotson. At the end of 1/2 inning at Yankee Stadium, the White Sox 4, the Yankees coming to bat.
For hanging in, for hanging tough, for holding on when the going's rough, for taking charge, for taking pride, for staying true to what's inside, for the far inside of you, for stepping up, for coming through this buzz for you, for the smile that's part of you, that extra mile, for coming through this buzz for you.
Coming through for you. Beechwood Age, for the taste so crisp, so clean, so refreshing. It's the king of beers.
For coming through this buzz for you. This buzz for you.
Finding just the right family car can be a challenge. But consider this. The Mazda 626 has more standard features than a Honda Accord. Its no-deductible bumper-to-bumper warranty is unequal. The 626 is not only hundreds less than Accord, but right now you also get $750 cash back. And it's so much fun to drive, you could almost forget it's a family car. Well, almost.
See your local Mazda dealer today and get $750 cash back on 626.
Invasion of privacy. Assassination of character.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Your brother's been shot.
Hoover versus the Kennedys. Wednesday at 8 on Channel 11.
Well, we still got the great shot from on top of the roof, and look at the big ballpark, and it has Jerry Royce on the screen in right center field, loosening up. When White was here last year, I said the Yankees should get this guy, and White said he was too old, and he had a great year last year, didn't he? And he's having a good year this year. He's 6-2. But here's the lineup he'll be facing. Ricky Henderson leads off. Steve Sachs batting second. Don Mattingly hitting third. Big Steve Balboni is the DH. Jesse Barfield bats fifth. Tom Brookins hits sixth. Don Slaughter batting seventh. Alvaro Espinosa batting eighth. And Roberto Kelly batting ninth. You got it, George.
And they'll face another number 41. Our number 41 is in the booth with us, and Tom Seaver, but Jerry Royce wearing 4-1 with the White Sox 6-2 on the year, 82 hits in 66 innings, so he's given up a lot of hits. Has not struck out a lot, but the strikeout days are long gone for Jerry Royce. Now he's basically a control pitcher. And the left-hander started the year as a starter with this club, then was sent to the bullpen when the White Sox needed somebody to get people out from the left side. 1-0 pitch to Anderson. He's ball 2 as Ricky steps in with a 247 average. And still the subject of everyone's conversation in and around New York. Will he stay? Will he go? Will he sign? 3-0. One thing we know that Ricky will continue to take.
Yep.
He leads the American League in walks. 3-0. There's ball 4.
Well, Ricky's got to okay any deal that is made, and so far he's turned down the Giants in Candlestick Park.
And the numbers on Jerry Royce.
Oh, I didn't realize he was that tall, 6'5".
Resides in La Cañada, California. 13-9 in '88. and 6-2 so far in '89. 38 career shutouts to his credit. Turned 40 yesterday. Looking for a birthday present a day later against the Yankees tonight. Steve Sax steps in, and the White Sox have given him 4 runs worth of present in the top of the first inning. Sax at 310 had his first day off of the season on Sunday, and of course the Yankees had an off day on Monday, so he back-to-back days off for him was the first for '89. The right field base hit. Calderon over. Henderson will try to go to third. Ian cuts the throw. It gets past the third baseman Lyons. It's Sax on his way to second. He's safe.
Boy, I'd say that is hustling. 4 runs behind. And they really showed me something there. Henderson and Sax very alertly went halfway when the ball was bobbled. He went to second and just did beat the throw. Woo!
Dallas Green looks on as the top of his lineup, which can be dynamite if it works, worked to perfection on this play. Here's Henderson going, sees where the ball is, sees where Calderon is, and turns it on. The throw is late, and it gets past.
Oh, it hit
Lyons.
Lee
and had it
Elia.
not hit Lee Elia, would have gone even further.
Yes. And Sax danced a little, close play, but the throw was high, thank goodness, and he's safe.
And that'll bring up Mattingly, the first pitch, inside, ball 1. So the Yankees right back at it, trailing by 4, have runners on second and third with no one out. Mattingly to the right side. The run will score, and Walker will take it himself. 1 out. So credit Sax with a single. The error on the right fielder.
I think they just changed it, George. They gave it to the shortstop. I don't know why. Oh, that's right. It was cut off by Guillen, and he's the one that made the throw low.
So it's E6.
Yep.
Sax on third, talking with third base coach Lee Elia. And Balboni comes to the plate. He's at .250 with 7 home runs and 24 runs batted in. And on the year, has a home run and 2 runs batted in against the White Sox. There's strike 1.
Well, he's got to hit that ball. Ground ball or a long fly. The infield's playing deep, so they'll give him the run. But no strikeout or pop-up here.
When you say deep at third, you can't get any deeper than Steve Lyons is playing at third right now.
And
Take
stay
a
in
look.
the infield. Look
You
at the
can't
shortstop.
even see him.
They're all playing on the rim of the grass with Balboni.
There's Lyons. The Sax leads off third.
But Balboni's got to get a piece of the ball. Got to guard that plate.
0-2 pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. White Sox got 4 runs, 4 hits in the first. And the Yankees have retaliated with 1 so far in their half of the inning. Foul. In his career, Balboni has not hit well against the White Sox at .181, but he has hit 10 home runs against them. One-two pitch.
All
Base hit,
right.
center field. Sax will score, and it's a 4-2 ball game. So Steve Balboni goes in the hole, 0-2. But manages to come back with a single up the middle that pulls the Yankees within 2.
He threw him a nice high slider, and he didn't swing hard. Hits it up just above the belt, and he just perfect spot.
That'll bring up Barfield at .225 on the year with 11 home runs, 6 as a Yankee. Foul down the third base line. He continues to move that left arm as if still feeling some effects from that greeting the wall gave him in right field on the triple by Calderon. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Balboni off first.
Oh, he was guessing way out of the strike zone. Some guys make up their mind, no matter where it is they swing. He needed an oar to hit that one.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Balboni at first. White Sox 4, Yankees 2, bottom of the first.
Holy cow.
Just missed on that
one. The umpire missed on that one. That was that could be a big break. Right over the corner. Surprised Fisk didn't yell.
Larry Young looks out at Jerry Royce. Jesse Barfield reloads. Oh! The off-speed pitch gets him.
Yep, had him out in front. Good motion on that one. And the pitch was up, too. It wasn't like it was in a bad spot.
So Royce had Barfield in the middle of his mind game, his first time up. We'll see how the evening progresses. That'll bring up Tom Brookins. 2 out now. Brookins at 194 for the year. Against the White Sox, 1 for 6. But career, 297 against the Chicago White Sox. Of course, most of that with the Detroit Tigers. Up the middle, base hit. Balboni round second, will stay there, and the Yankees have 2 on with 2 out. This figured to be a night where there would be some hits as Sammy Ellis, the pitching coach for the White Sox, comes out. And so far...
Oh, it's going to be, yes. Like you say, the White Sox have been having their problems. The Yankees have been having their problems. But I tell you, they showed me something bouncing back after a disastrous first inning, top of the first. And the inning's not over yet. Slaught, who hits left-handers very well, will be the batter. Is that gray hair, George?
Well, it was blonde at one time, and there's still a little blonde in it, Scooter.
Yeah,
but
I can
it's
see
more
that.
gray than blonde.
There's some highlights.
He's in great shape, though,
yeah.
boy. He has his own exercise and workout program, and really is so exacting the way he works his program.
I don't think anybody worked harder than Steve Carlton.
Yep.
Boy, he went for a routine.
Slaught with 2 outs has 2 runners on. The runner at first is Brookins. The runner at second is Balboni. The batter, Don Slaught, the Yankee catcher, with 2 outs, and the Yankees trailing 4-2, bottom of the first. Good pitch by Royce as he gets it inside and fouled off. That was a perfect example of why you pitch with your mind and not just with your arm. Jerry Royce long ago lost the velocity, but just like Tommy John and just like so many other pitchers that have learned to survive without the heater, he still can pitch inside.
That was a good slider down and in.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs.
Again, he got him on the hands.
You look for the breaking ball, the slow breaking ball, and all of a sudden the slider becomes a little faster. Slaught's been on top of it the last week and a half. That includes a day off also during that stretch. That one a little inside, and it's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Royce to Slaught.
Hey, that's in there.
That'll fall. Balboni will score. Brookins rounds third. Elia will hold him up, and Slaught will be at second with a double. So Don Slaught continues to swing the hot bat, doubling the left center field, scoring Balboni as Jeff Torborg, the manager, looks on. Staked to a 4-run lead in the top of the first. Jerry Royce has seen that evaporate to 1.
And this was in a perfect spot. Nobody had a chance to get this, but he does a good job of getting it on that first hop. He got a lucky break that it bounced up, and he was able to keep Brookins at third base.
That's an example of the small things that Gallagher does out in center field. He cut it off and then got it in rapidly. That'll bring up Espinosa. A short tap. Ian in, and he gets it. So Espinosa tries to leg it out, but Ozzie Guillen, one of the best at short, comes up with the fine charging play, and Jerry Royce gives up 4 hits. So did Richard Dotson. But the White Sox came up with 4 runs and the Yankees 3 in the first inning. The score at the end of 1, Chicago 4, Yankees 3. We're now going to pause for station identification.
You've got the magic touch. It makes me glow so much. It casts a spell. It rings a bell. The magic touch.
Camp Hyatt this summer, because kids have fantasies too.
Magic touch.
This is WPIX, New York.
I just took the Mazda Challenge and compared Honda Prelude with Mazda MX-6. The sporty MX-6 beats Honda by over $2,500. The no-deductible warranty covers me for an additional 14,000 miles. And right now, you can get $750 cash back from Mazda. The Mazda Challenge is a bright idea, but don't wait too long. Because what goes up?
See your local Mazda dealer today and get $750 cash back on MX-6.
Okay, bring it forward a little bit. Keep it coming. It ain't gonna fit, Charlie. Just trust me. Hold it there. Just lower it a little bit. Charlie, it ain't gonna fit. Take it easy. Just be gentle with it, it'll be fine. Just lower it a little bit more. Okay, just lower it. Sorry, Charlie. Take it easy. I knew it wouldn't fit. Wait, get it up. Come on, I knew it wouldn't fit. No way. If it's out there, it's in here. I knew it wouldn't fit.
The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
Here we are again, back at the top of the order for the White Sox in the top of the second inning. Dave Gallagher to face no longer Richard Dotson, but Dale Mahorsic. Dotson, in case you just joined us, lasted 2/3 of an inning, gave up 4 hits and 4 runs. Mahorsic came in to get the final out of the inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gallagher singled to left field through the hole to start things off for the White Sox. That's inside, 2-1. Offensive fireworks so far at Yankee Stadium. We've had 8 hits and 7 runs. Popped into short center field. In comes Kelly. Will not be able to make a play on it. And Gallagher is 2 for 2.
It's like a bad night for pitchers, doesn't he? Hit that one right off his hands.
Gallagher's been doing this against everybody. He has now 82 hits on the year. That is 5th place in the American League. So he's been hitting hard line drives, hitting bloops, but getting on. Steve Lyons walked in the first. Later scored on Baines' home run. Held on by Mattingly. Foul down the first base line. First base coach for the White Sox, Terry Bevington, who was one of the finalists for the Toronto managerial position. as Lyons digs in for. There's a check over to first base again with Gallagher back. Gallagher stolen 5-7. Colors ahead 0-2. Mahorsic ahead 0-2. Number 54. You know, we were talking about numbers, Scooter.
Yeah.
I mentioned 27 the other day. When you see 54, you only think of one in the Yankee uniform, don't you?
Gossage.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Goose. There's Ron Clark, the third base coach, flashing signals. Lyons can hit and run. Gallagher can run. With 1 and 2, you don't see him doing it. But Jeff Torborg has tried to do a lot of unorthodox things to get his club moving this year. They started off horribly, and with the injuries and everything else, the one thing that he's tried to do is keep the feeling upbeat, keep the philosophy upbeat. One ball, 2 strikes. Foul off the third base dugout and out of play. Mahorsic figures to be in for a while tonight, as long as he can go, as Dallas Green called in the damage control when Dotson was raked for 4 hits and 4 runs in the first inning. 2-2 pitch to left center field, hangs up there. Henderson calls off Kelly, and there's 1 down.
Well, it was good to see that in a sense. Ricky is bouncing around a little better out there in the outfield. Normally the center field, as we've mentioned, takes everything he can get. But it was an easier play for Ricky.
Plus with Ricky, the left-hand thrower, and the runner heading into second base, it gives him a good set position to throw, whereas Kelly, the right-hand thrower, if he caught it going away, not that Gallagher was tagging, but still something to think about if that left fielder can get through, especially if you got a left-handed throwing left field.
All right. So what about this guy, though?
He did to Richard Dotson what he's done to so many people over the years. Home run first inning, gave the White Sox a 3-0 lead.
Remember the first year this kid was with the White Sox, Bill Veeck said he is a future Hall of Famer. And he could very well have been, might still be, but the legs. Oh.
Quick hands by Mattingly. They get 1, and a great footwork job by Mattingly as he dives to save the throw, and the Yankees get their second double play of the ball game. So the White Sox come up with another hit, but some good D gets the Yankees out of trouble. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning at Yankee Stadium. The White Sox 4, the Yankees 3.
How do you pick a winner?
Goldie picks them. I play them. We're a team.
I picked the top number of the cutest guy who comes in all day.
To save time, I simply pay attention to the first 3 numbers pressed in the elevator.
New York numbers. Just pick 3 lucky numbers, and you can win up to $500 every day.
My numbers are always changing, but I don't tell anybody where I get them.
New York numbers. Every day's a play day.
Now even losing lottery tickets are worth some dough. Bring in any losing lottery ticket to participating Dunkin' Donuts and get $1 off a dozen donuts.
He's got a great wife, a big promotion, and a weekend to impress the bigwigs.
We have a rising young star in Joel O'Keefe.
On the road to success and about to hit a detour. She's the one woman who can ruin it all.
That's not what I want!
The boss's wife, interested in a very friendly takeover.
I gotta get out of here!
Martin Mull, Daniel Stern, The Boss's Wife, Sunday at 6 on Channel 11.
Hello there, everybody. These days, starting lineup baseball collectibles are a mighty hot item. And kids, here's your chance to get one of your favorite Yankees free. Kenner Toys presents starting lineup Yankee baseball collectibles day on Thursday, June 22nd at 1 p.m. when all youngsters 14 and under receive one of these figurines of today's Yankee stars. Starting lineup baseball collectibles day, Thursday, June 22 at 1 p.m. Get your tickets now.
The Yankees raid the Royals, Friday at 8:30 on Channel 11.
Another look at it, Scooter. 3.63 DP, and boy, it's a tough one.
He gets 2 stars for catching that hot smash, and then the throw, as Espinosa, for the first time, had to be leery of the runner. And you see Mattingly was leaning to his right, had to fall down and make the catch. Gold glove.
4 of them. They don't come by accident. And he proves once again why he is so exceptional at first. Roberto Kelly to lead it off for the Yankees in the bottom of the second. He's over 300 with 2 home runs and 17 runs batted in, and 375 career against the White Sox. One ball, 1 strike from Royce inside. Now you talk about the way a pitcher runs a game, but also you talk about the way the pitching coach and the catcher plan their strategy for the pitcher that is in there. And that's exactly what Billy Conner, the pitching coach of the Yankees, and Don Swat doing between innings. 3 balls, 1 strike. Full count.
Some friends of Bobby Valentine, George Grande, just sent one of those big cannolis stuffed with little cannolis. Willie Hernandez clapping, Dulio doing handstands.
This one hit to the left side and passed into left field. That's a base hit. Pasquay in to retrieve and gets it to second to Manrique. And Roberto Kelly with a base hit as the Yankees get the leadoff hitter on here in the second. This is going to be a night of fireworks, it looks like. Are you going to eat all that, Scooter?
No, 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 no. I tell you, but everybody up here loves him. I'm going to have one of the small ones. It's stuffed with small cannoli.
Harold Baines hit the big cannoli in the first, a 3-run home run, and the Yankees could use a big cannoli of their own here in the second. White Sox 4, Yankees 3. Bottom of the second. Kelly on first. Henderson up. He walked in the first inning. Something new and different for Ricky. He's 56th of the year. That's 9 ahead of Dewey Evans of the Red Sox, the leader. Henderson is in the American League. Shortens up. Draws Lyons in at third. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kelly leads off first. Royce checks him back.
We have lots of fans in Connecticut, Stamford, Connecticut, right near where Tom Seaver lives. I can't divulge his address. But AJ and Sue DeVito at 3D's Cafe from Stamford. They're friends of Bobby Valentine. Says home of the best Yankee fans.
1-1 pitch. Ball 2.
Now before, when I was talking about the cannolis, Kelly got a hit. And I'm talking now, and if Henderson gets a hit, we're going to talk about cannolis all night long.
2 balls, 1 strike as Jeff Torborg checks his board. Kelly not going. Bounded to Walker. They'll get Kelly at second, but that's all. There's no way will they get Henderson at first.
Walker, I thought he was going to hit Kelly right in the back. He turned without looking and threw the ball right over his head or by his shoulder.
So that'll bring up Steve Sachs, who singled in the first inning as the Yankees started off with Henderson walking and Sachs singling, and after the error, Sachs went to second and Henderson motored to third. That started the Yankees off to a 3-run first. We're in the second. White Sox 4, Yankees 3. Henderson, who has stolen 25 of 33 on the year, leads off first against Royce. You got a pitcher who holds runners on well, and one of the best in the business of throwing runners out in Carlton Fisk behind the plate. And a lot of experience in those two also. Sachs runs up, calls strike one. In fact, the battery of Royce and Fisk on opening day, when Royce went to the mound as the starting pitcher and that man, Carlton Fisk, was the starting catcher, had the oldest combined age of a first day battery in Major League history. Royce was 39, Fisk was 41, of course Jerry's now 40. So if he's around next year, they can set the record again.
That's right.
0-1, Henderson off first. Not going. Hit hard, just foul down the left field line. No more than a 1.5 foot foul.
Man, he gets around at that inside pitch as well as anyone. He gets the good wood on it. Usually the guys get around, break the bat.
Hey, it's interesting. Of all the teams we faced, Scooter, everyone has played Steve Sachs way over in right field, and to have him go the other way. But I think when you're pitching Jerry Royce, it's a different ball.
Yes, because he's throwing the pitches inside, the breaking pitches, and you're more apt to pull them.
No balls, 2 strikes. Henderson off first. Royce goes back to him again. White Sox 4, Yankees 3, bottom of the second. Not going. Pounded to second base. Manrique over to Guillen, and Sachs beats the throw to first.
It looked like a tailor-made double play. But Sachs never gives up. He was really digging in. And it looked like Guillen threw the ball, didn't really put anything on it. Watch me, just flips it. See that? Just a flip.
When you have Kelly followed by Henderson followed by Sachs, you're looking at a very tough trio to double up at any time in the ball game.
Absolutely.
Followed by this man, number 23, Don Mattingly, who steps to the plate. Mattingly grounded out to the first baseman, unassisted his first time up. The play did score Henderson from third. Sachs has stolen 18 times in 24 attempts as he leads off first. Fisk sets up outside. The 18-year veteran back to first again. Jerry Royce, with those 18 years of experience, has more years in the majors than the entire staff combined. Sachs goes. This one foul to the right side.
We
had it stolen, huh, Scooter?
Oh, easily. We mentioned we were going to Miami, Tampa, West Palm, Syracuse, Buffalo, Rochester, which is the home of our audio man, Reggie Nash. And Gene Monahan said to say hello to his folks. He's got some family down in the Florida area near Fort Lauderdale.
1-1 pitch. Foul again to the right side. Talk about longevity. You know, we mentioned the 18 years. That man has won over 200 ball games. And Royce and Mil Pappas are the only two pitchers in baseball history to win 200 or more games without ever having a 20-win season. He's never had a 20-win season, in spite of some pretty good years.
It didn't seem possible.
1-2, and Sachs checks back. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Mattingly. Sachs is going. Hit off the handle into short center field. Ian can't get it. Sachs rounds third. He'll be held up there as the throw quickly made into the plate, and Lee Elliott did an alert job of holding him up. Sachs wanted to go and pulled on the brakes as he hit third base, but he would have been a dead duck at the plate. But Mattingly alertly wound up at second base as both the second baseman, Manrique, and the shortstop, Guillen, went out for that one, and no one was back covering second. Another look. Guillen sticks the left hand up, gets a glove on the ball, but it's off his thumb. And look at Sachs. He's got one thing in mind, scoring right here. Elia's waving him at that point, and now, bingo, put the brakes on. So Sachs is at third, Mattingly's at second, and Balboni is up. Foul down the third base line over the visitors' dugout. That's Don Mattingly's 250th career double. And in 1989, his 15th. Balboni singled back in the first inning up the middle to score the Yankees' second run. There's Mattingly at second. Sachs at third. 0-1 pitch. Popped into short left field. Pasqua under control. Calls everybody off. And there's out number 3. So the Yankees get the tying run as far as third, but can't push it home. On the 9X scoreboard, the score at the end of 2 innings, the White Sox 4, the Yankees 3.
I send you for a Bud Light, and you bring back...
Well, if you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
So, there are no men here, there's an unlimited supply of Bud Light, and we can never leave.
Correct.
Because everything else is just a light.
We can live with that.
Yeah.
When you're hot, you're hot.
Your Tri-State quality Ford dealers are turning up the heat with the Summer Sizzlers. Now choose low 2.9% financing or save over $2,000 on a Ford Ranger. Get 2.9 financing or save over $2,700 on Ford Bronco 2. Or save over $800 on a new Ford Aerostar. And that's all before you make your best deal. Get a hot deal with a Summer Sizzler at your Tri-State quality Ford dealer now.
Ford dealers. When you're hot, you're hot. Share a day in the country as a great new adventure begins. It's fun, it's fast, it's a ball, it's a blast. It's the best it's ever been. It's a whole new adventure with a million things to do. It's a whole new adventure. Great adventure is waiting.
Kids are half price and adults save $5 with coupons at participating Roy Rogers.
Only one ship,
All Phaserbacks. Fire.
one crew, one man,
Consider it a challenge.
leading the adventure of a lifetime.
You admit that?
The original Star Trek. Weeknights at 6, only on Channel 11.
Back at Yankee Stadium, we're set to go to the top of the third inning. Ivan Calderon, Greg Walker, and Carlton Fisk set to go against Dale Mahorsik, who is into his third inning of work. He came in to get the final out in the first inning after the White Sox touched Richard Dotson for 4 hits and 4 runs. Mahorsic gave up 1 hit in the second inning. And here is a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Another look at it. Does he go? Calderon saw it off, but he still gets it into center field for a base hit. So Calderon, who tripled back in the first inning, is 2 for 2 as he gets a base hit to left center field. And the White Sox have the leadoff hitter on here in the third inning. That'll bring up Walker. Greg walked in the first inning. Fisk walked after him when Richard Dotson just could not find the plate, as Dotson threw 6 consecutive balls. Richard just was not on his game this night at Yankee Stadium. Foul back.
George, we've got a lot of talent sitting right in back of us here, you know. A legend in his own time, Eddie Robinson from Grambling, who has been around even longer than I have. And that's a long, long time. Eddie, great to see you here.
It's real nice to be back.
And every time you come with your opponent here, and it's going to be Howard University, and the coach is looks like a high school kid, Steve Wilson.
Well, he played last year with Denver, and you know he's going to bring a whole new offense and defense. I don't know what we're going to do because we don't know anything about it.
There's a dribble out in front of the plate. Mahorsic over to Mattingly at first, and there's one down as Calderon moves to second base.
He's used a little bit of psychology on young Steve here. And by the way, Donald Polk is here, the president and chief executive officer of the New York Urban League, and they are the ones who are sponsoring this classic along with the New York Daily News.
Yes, we're going to try to have a big crowd out there in the Meadowlands so that we can help kids get to college. You know, it's tougher and tougher for them to get scholarship money these days.
I know it is, but I'm sure with the 2 clubs you got going, and with Eddie there, who's broken just about every record. You broke the old Bear, Papa Bear's record. I know that.
Yeah, but that's all right when you know what the people are doing. But this is a youngster, and he comes in, and he's bringing something that I haven't seen before. He won't even talk about his offense.
No kidding?
No.
Oh, come on, Steve.
Well, when you have as many question marks as we have, there's not a lot to talk about right now. But we're certainly excited about the opportunity to play against Coach Robinson's team and want everybody to come out and see us.
I think, Steve, when you talk about it, you're looking at, yes, as Carlton Fisk is hit by the pitch from Mahorsic, and he'll go to first. There'll be runners at first and second. You know, we look at Eddie, and those of us that have seen him over the years, and I know you feel the same way, Mr. Polk, we're talking about a legend here, and we're talking about someone who is a legend in the past, but also the present. And as a competitor against him, it doesn't make it easy for you, does it?
Well, it doesn't make it easy. Whenever you have an opponent that has 349 victories and I have 0, that's kind of lopsided. So we're going to try to get in and out of there without anybody noticing us.
Yeah, but you're not going to try and beat the coach, are you? Embarrass him?
Well, if we can just stay with Coach, certainly we're going to be happy. I don't think anybody can embarrass Eddie Robinson.
He said yesterday that he had a little debt to settle, so he's
kidding.
going to come out swinging.
Eddie, you really look great. How many years has this been now?
This is the 48th.
Holy cow. Still able to smile, still got that.
Well, just like I believe you can still make that double play.
Yes, all right.
Well, Scooter, you're talking about 49 years with the Yankees.
Yeah, I know, but his job's a little tougher. I mean, he's down in the trenches down there. And
one legend to another.
Yeah, but I tell you, he's had some great ball players.
Well,
great quarterbacks who seem to get them all the time.
Pasqua hits it down the right field line. That'll be a base hit, and it's touched by a fan. They will rule a double for Pasqua, hold up Fisk at third, and Calderon will score. So the White Sox get another run on the board, and they lead 5-3 as Calderon scores, and Fisk will stop at third after being hit by the pitch. And probably in this case, the Yankees may very well have gotten a break on it, Scooter, because it was heading towards the corner where it could rattle around a little bit. And Jeff Torborg said that Dan Pasqua's been hitting the ball well, and here is a perfect example as he continues, even though he's fooled by the pitch, to get the bat on the ball.
He's strong enough, and it would have gone to the corner. Fisk would have scored, and Pasqua would have had a triple.
And that'll bring up Fred Manrique. Manrique singled back in the first inning to knock in the 4th run for the Chicago White Sox. The date again is September the 9th at Giants Stadium, Grambling against Howard. Not baseball, but football, as Mahorsic gets Manrique to go chasing after this one, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And it's for a great benefit. Of course, the Urban League sponsors this, the Yankees sponsor it, and the Daily News sponsors it, Mr. Pope.
Well, you know, when you can get 2 great teams, and if anybody hasn't seen traditional black college football, with the great bands that they have and so forth and so on, but when you can get 2 great teams out there, there'll only be 1 victor, but there'll be an awful lot of winners. And those people will be the folks that we're going to help get into college. And by the way, the Urban League will be going younger and younger to try to interest our young folks in our scholarships so that they're motivated to stay in school and do well.
Fly ball left field. Henderson is in, and there is out number 2. His throw cut off by Mattingly, and Fisk will stay at third base. You talk about that aspect of it. The other aspect, too, is, yes, it's a great football game, but fans are going to be entertained because you got some great bands there, too, don't you?
The bands. I mean, you know, that you can see the crowd turned on by that. Late in the second quarter, everybody gets out and they go for their hot dogs and popcorn and go to the toilet or whatever, and they're back there at halftime for these great bands.
A lot of people come to see the bands. We got a great showpiece with our band. It's a showpiece, and we'd like to get a chance to come back on the field sometime early to see them perform ourselves.
If anybody hasn't seen those bands, they should really get out there and see that game, see those bands.
Ian fouls this one down the right field line.
They got some high steppers.
Yeah, you know, we were real fortunate that the Yankees played on our campus March the 15th.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And everybody who was somebody in Louisiana, they came to see them. Oh, we had a great time.
Is there competition with the bands too, Coach?
I think so. And out of one of those 2 contests, we've got to win one of them.
Here at Yankee Stadium, there's your New York Urban League Football Classic in September. Ian punches it to left field. Henderson comes in. They're going to send the runner. Here's the throw to the plate. Dead duck is past him. Henderson comes up with the rifle throw to save another run. And gentlemen, thank you very much for stopping by, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, kid, we just hope a lot of folk will come over and see us play, and it's nice being with you.
Good to see you again, Eddie. Take care.
Take care, Eddie. Good luck.
Great play by Slaught at the plate on the throw from Henderson. Another look at it as he blocks the plate on Pasqua. And the White Sox get 2 more. They lead 6-3. And we'll be back after this.
No splashing. Hey, quit that horsing around. Oh, hi! Go on in. The water's great.
There is no water.
Oh, no imagination, huh? Should have stayed at Holiday Inn. They've got the real stuff. Pools, games, restaurants, and all for as low as $29. Oh, no more chit-chat. Time for horseback riding. Whoa, big fella!
Don't get burned this summer. The real fun's at Holiday Inn for only $29 to $59. Call now and stay with someone you know.
One of these guys is a pro photographer. One's a dentist. With the autofocus EOS 750, it's tough to tell them apart. Canon EOS. Now you don't have to be a pro to shoot like one. And with the EOS 750, now you don't have to be a pro to afford one. Autofocus Canon EOS, so advanced, it's easy to shoot like a pro.
By the way, Doc, what's that? Could you look at this tooth?
Buy EOS today with no money down, low monthly payments at participating Canon dealers.
The same card that gives you a year-end summary of your charges, a 24-hour travel service, cash access at home and abroad, and so many other sensible services. Also has no preset spending limit. For when you finally run into that 1953 XK120. The American Express Gold Card.
Juice. Very fine. The very finest.
The Yankees raid the Royals. Friday at 8:30 on Channel 11.
Back at the stadium, We'll go to the bottom of the third with the White Sox leading the Yankees 6-3. Another look at the play of the plate, Scooter.
Yeah, and I like what Slaughter does. He makes believe he's going to block, then steps aside a little bit, and Pasqua goes through. He brushes him lightly, but he landed heavily on his shoulder. I'd rather see Slaughter do it this way than stand there and take the full force of that crushing blow that these guys want to lay on him.
Danny Pasqua's like a football blocking back.
Yep.
Eddie Robinson could use him in his backfield. Let me tell you, there's Don Slaught. Slaught did a good job of decoying, too, before the throw came in. He stood there like the Statue of Liberty.
Yep. What a throw. That's the best throw I've ever seen Henderson make.
1-0 pitch from Royce. Fouled straight back and out of play. First time up, Royce had Barfield eating out of the palm of his hand. Struck him out on a 1-2 pitch and had him guessing. Here it's the battle resumes in a 1-1 count. Ball 2. Last year, the Chicago chapter of the Baseball Writers Association voted that man the comeback player of the year in Chicago. Barfield hits it to short. Takes a quick hop, but Guillen hangs with it and throws Barfield out. Royce has been around for a while, been on a few baseball cards. This man's been on a few baseball cards, too. How about that, Scooter? 1955.
Unbelievable. But that's the dumbest play, though, jumping up in the end, catching a ball like that. But I hate to see pictures like that. I hate to think that at one time I looked that young. I looked a lot like Jay Johnstone when I was young. That's why I had a choice of...
Jay Johnstone's in the booth because he wants some of your cannolis, huh?
Well, there's plenty there. You could have a feast with that. Those kids from Connecticut brought them down.
2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Brookins against Royce. First time up, Brookins single to center. Expected some offense. We're getting it.
And it's not over yet. There's going to be a lot more runs scored.
Foul back by Brookins. And the count evens at 2-2. It's amazing. You build friendships. Of course, Royce has been with a number of clubs. Brookins with the Tigers. This one fouled off at the plate. And while Tom Brookins cares about the people in Detroit, I mean, he's worried about this year, this team right now. And while he asks more than he divulges as to what's happening with the Tigers. He's talked to a couple of Tigers during the course of the year, like when Jack Morris first got hurt, but really out of sight, out of mind when you start the season. Brookins pops it into right field, and Calderon, playing shallow, will able to make that play.
The catcher,
Brookins is 1 for 2 after the fly out to right. Don Slaught doubled back in the first. Did his normal El Perfecto job, blocking the plate and doing what he had to do at the plate to wrap up the last inning for the Yankees. 2 out. Bottom of the third. The White Sox 6 runs, 8 hits, and an error. The Yankees 3-6-0. Sawing him off, but Manrique comes over, one-hands it for the final out of the inning, and the Yankees go 1-2-3 on the Marine Midland scoreboard. The score at the end of 3 at Yankee Stadium. The White Sox 6 runs, 8 hits, and an error. The Yankees 3-6-0.
What do you have? Give me 2 pizza puffs, a chili dog. Excuse me. Gus. 1 minute. Sorry.
Give me 2 pizza puffs, a chili dog, a large.
Dick, look. Gus, I told you, to be hot dog kings, we need lots of Bud Light. Not Bull Blood?
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
Now what do you think? It's beautiful.
Because everything else is just a light.
Hey, what about my pizza puffs?
There's something about women that men can't stand. They can be so silly,
Never, 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 never.
so crazy,
You were beastly to me.
but oh so lovable.
Take me. No.
The Battle of the Sexes rages on with Sam and Diane.
Are you crazy?
Cheers. Weeknights at 7 and 11 on Channel 11. He's got a great wife, a big promotion, and a weekend to impress the bigwigs.
We have a rising young star in Joel Keith.
On the road to success and about to hit a detour, The Boss's Wife. Sunday at 6 on Channel 11.
Hey fans, now you can get 2 free box seats to a Yankee game by subscribing to Yankees Magazine, an official publication of the Yankees. Subscribe now for 12 exciting issues and choose one of these games for your 2 free box seats. This special limited offer is for new subscribers only. Send a check or money order for $18 to Yankees Magazine, Department FT, Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York, 10451, or call 1-800-543-3600. Subscribe now and get your 2 free box seats. Back at Yankee Stadium, Dale Mahorsik set to go to work to the top of the order as we lead off the 4th inning with Dave Gallagher, Steve Lyons, and Harold Baines scheduled up for the White Sox. And we welcome Dumas, Tom Seaver.
Thank you, George. You guys had a fun first inning, didn't you?
Woo.
Holy mackerel. 18 guys at the plate.
We figured out it would be
9, let's see, no, we're
9,
17 hitters at the plate, yeah. I figured we'd be out here at 12:30.
It's one of those nights everybody's a hitter, huh?
And how? Well, you look at these two clubs and the pitching staffs, the 2 worst pitching staffs in the American League. The White Sox almost 5 runs a game, and the Yankees pitching staff just about 4.5. So you figured you'd get some runs scored tonight. Anyway, it'd be Gallagher, Lyons, and Baines here for the White Sox in the top of the 4th in a 6-3 ball game. White Sox 4 in the first, 2 in the third. After Chicago scored 4 in the first, the Yankees came right back and scored 3 of their own. But the White Sox added a couple more in the top of the third. They lead it 6-3. Gallagher, a perfect night. So far, a couple of singles, single in the first and second. Came in hitting .289. His average is up to .294. Hit hard. Holy mackerel, and that's going to hurt. An error on Alvaro Espinoza. Something you don't see very often. Espy has been very, very solid at shortstop.
And this one, it looks like he gets it right off the meat of his hand or his wrist, too. It's right off that one of the fingers right there. Ooh.
Espinoza charged with his 9th error of the year. You may wonder what Espy was doing there just before Mahorsik threw to first. He put the glove up in front of his face and looked over at Sachs and gave him a little sign. You'll see him do it again here. Watch, see him with his mouth closed. That might be what they're doing. Lyons bunts it up. I don't know. They'll never get him. Steve runs too well. And a bunt base hit for Steve Lyons, and the White Sox have their first 2 runners on here. One on an error and one on a bunt base hit. Getting back to Espinoza, what he is doing there, he's giving a signal to Steve Sachs. There he is just pointing at the pitcher who will be covering on the double play. But he is giving a signal to Steve Sachs on who will be covering on the steal. And that will be determined by what kind of pitch is thrown. And if he closes his mouth, he may be saying, I've got the bag on the steal. If he opens his mouth to Steve Sachs, he'll be saying, you're covering the bag on the steal. One of the small little forms of communication that goes on and is so important on the field. Anyway, Harold Baines up with 2 on and nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning, and a very high scoring ball game in the process. And it doesn't look like things are going to change, and the White Sox best hitter over 300 at the 325 mark coming in, and a big 3-run home run in the first inning off of Richard Dotson. One of the best hitters in baseball, Harold Baines. One of the best hitters in baseball and probably one of the most underrated players in baseball. Very quiet, never says a word. You see Andy Hawkins giving a little school on what pitching's all about.
93 curveball. Which seam to you?
Where's the pressure point on your finger? Where do you release it? What's the angle of your wrist? You throw it over the top of your fingers. Turn your wrist, throw it on the side. Always looking for something else that'll be working. Talking about Harold Baines, George, he just never says a word, but he is a 100% player on the field. He really killed him last year when he was in the DH role with his bad knees. He wants to play every day. He likes to play defensively. Popped up on the left side. See if Brookins has a play. And it's back into the seats.
Mentioning that he's underrated. Underrated maybe by fans and possibly by some people in the media, but certainly not by the people who are on the field. He's regarded as the consummate gamer. In fact, when Jeff Torborg took over this year, he said, in regard to Ivan Calderon, said, we got another gamer on this club, meaning Calderon, and taking it from the top and acknowledging the fact that they have one of the best gamers in the business with Baines in the lineup.
Exactly right. Pops it up on the infield. Infield fly rule, no. Ricky Henderson will take it. And there's one out for the White Sox here in the fourth. You know, one of the reasons, George, is exactly what you said. The press, one of the reasons Harold Baines is not as well known as the outstanding player that he is because of the press. And it's not necessarily the press's fault. Harold is not a talker. I mean, Harold could have 3 home runs in a game, and you'd go in and talk to him, and I could go up to him and ask him, I said, Harold, did you hit those balls good? And he'd say, pretty good. Yep. And the press would come up to him and say, did you hit those balls pretty good? And he'd say, yep, pretty good. That's just the way Harold Baines is.
I know when I first started covering the White Sox, and when Harold first came up, there really was a couple of years before he could even get hello. And I, back in the early 80s, and it wasn't because he's aloof, and some people took that to be aloof. He's a very warm human being and a fine person. Just doesn't talk a lot.
That's right. And he has absolutely one of the most infectious smiles I have ever seen and been associated with in my entire life. He really does.
And sometimes the public persona is different than the real thing. George Hendrick's a perfect example of that too.
Calderon up in the alley. The Yankees will not catch that one. That's going to be extra bases, and will score 2. All the way to the fence. And 2 more runners across for the White Sox. Ivan Calderon, 3 for 3 on the night. A triple in the first, a double in the third, and now a single in the third, and now a double here in the fourth inning, and the White Sox now lead it 8-3.
We talked about somebody who's been swinging the bat well, and Calderon is one as he gets on top of this one. And remember, McCorsick is now 3+ innings, and he's usually only used to going a couple, so that may be taking its toll.
Greg Walker will draw the intentional base on balls to set up the double play with Carlton Fisk in the on-deck circle. Walker's been struggling. It's good to see him back in uniform after the trouble that he had last year. He had seizure last year, and it almost cost him his life had it not been for Herm Schneider, the trainer of the Chicago White Sox. And a real Southern gentleman is Greg Walker. Anyway, with 1 out, here comes Carlton Fisk. Pudge. The White Sox lead at 8-3 here in the top of the fourth. 11 runs, 17 hits so far in the ball game, and we're just in the top of the fourth. Pudge battling back from a broken bone in his right hand, the exact same bone, same spot as last year when he broke it. And as a result, his bat speed not quite what it normally would be. Now, you're talking bat speed. This is a guy that Nolan Ryan could not throw a fastball by. And that's the reputation that he had for hitting the fastball. He says, there's nobody throws too hard for me. And he didn't say it patting himself on the back. It was merely a statement of truth. Mahorczyk quickly ahead, no balls and 2 strikes.
After the injury this year, he said before the game today, I just regard myself as really being in the middle of spring training. I'm just now starting to get over the aches and pains and trying to feel normal at the plate and behind the plate.
One and two. 2 runs in here for the White Sox already.
I don't think there's any doubt, Tom, that after watching Espinosa at short, that either the index finger or the thumb still is bothering Alvaro Espinosa.
Pudge just got a piece of that one, way out in front of the off-speed pitch. And Pudge is swinging the bat well. That's really the best way to get him out. Off-speed stuff. Whether Espinosa got hit on the nail, he could have pushed back a nail or split a nail or got some blood underneath a nail off the end of the finger. You go in and it looks like his thumb. Yeah, he may have caused some bleeding. Popped up on the left side. Brookins puts it away. And there are 2 outs.
He wore 27 in Boston, turned it around 72 in Chicago on his back with the White Sox. It's hard to believe that at the end of this year that he'll have more games with the White Sox than he had with the Red Sox.
Yeah, it is hard to believe, isn't it?
For many people, he'll still be the man who hit the home run in the 1975 World Series.
One of the most dramatic World Series home runs ever, no question. Brings up Danny Pasqua. 2 outs. Runners on first and second. For the White Sox still, Ivan Calderon, who doubled in a couple of runs here in the top of the 4th, and Greg Walker at first base. White Sox looking to add to their 8-3 lead. Dale Mahorczyk looking to shut him down here. Jerry Royce still the pitcher for the Chicago White Sox. A rocky first inning. But he's still in there. Hit hard to right field. Way back. Roberto Kelly. Forget it. Way out of here. That ball was crushed. And it is now 11-3. Chicago leads the Yankees.
Jeff Torborg said before today's game that Dan Pasqua is just now starting to come into his own, and there you see the fans out in the right field seats throw the ball back as if to say, we don't want it. Taking a page from the fans in Minnesota during the World Series between Minnesota and the St. Louis Cardinals. There you see a young man who, of course, started his career in New York and still has family in the area. From Yonkers, lives in New Jersey. Right on this, Tom.
And he is strong enough, isn't he? Unlimited potential. They used to talk about Dan Pasqua because of his short stroke that he had and unlimited power, tremendous power. Just strong as a bull. Never really put it together. Has never really learned how to hit. And maybe with Jeff Torborg, he's beginning to learn that process. Torborg and, of course, Walt Rainiac, the hitting coach. Fred Manrique, the hitter with 2 outs, 5 runs in, for the White Sox already this inning.
Here's the fan in the outfield.
Jam shot. Espinosa. Nice pickup by Mattingly at first base, and Manrique, and the White Sox are out, but not before they come up with 5 runs here in the top of the 4th inning. They now lead the New York Yankees 11-3.
People ask me if it hurts. If they mean not playing right field every day for the Yankees, you bet it does. But I'll be back. I can't wait. And for now, I follow the Yankees every day in the New York Daily News. It has the best sports section in New York. Nobody tells it like Michael Kay, Bill Madden, and Mike Lupica. Nobody. To my fans, I'm looking forward to seeing you. And to my friends, the Red Sox, Toronto, and those other guys, I'm really looking forward to seeing you.
When you're hot, you're hot. Your Tri-State quality Ford dealers are turning up the heat with the Summer Sizzlers. Now choose low 2.9% financing or save over $1,500 on a new Ford Escort. Save over $1,400 on a new Ford Taurus. Or save over $1,700 on a new Ford Tempo. And that's all before you make your best deal. Get a hot deal with a Summer Sizzler now at your Tri-State quality Ford dealers.
Face to face with the mysteries of the galaxy.
I want to know what killed these criminals.
Only one ship.
Herc Enterprise.
One crew.
I'm a doctor, not an engineer.
One man.
Cause you fought about no longer exists.
Leading the adventure of a lifetime.
You admit that? To deny the facts would be illogical, Doctor. But we won't. Consider that.
The adventure continues.
Excellent.
The original Star Trek. Weeknights at 6 only on Channel 11.
There's a new kind of TV on the way. It's what you might call a breakthrough.
Let's check the scoreboard. Oakland has beaten Detroit the final 6-4. Minnesota leading Cleveland 4-2. That's in the 5th inning. Texas leads the Red Sox 1-0. They're in the 5th inning. Kansas City scoreless in the 1st against Milwaukee. And the Brewers are also scoreless in that bottom of the 1st inning. Baltimore, Seattle a little later, and Toronto, California a little later as well. A 1-0 count on Espinosa. Jerry Royce is now into his 4th inning of work.
Espinosa, Kelly, and Henderson here for the Yanks in the bottom of the 4th, and they have their work cut out for them. Down by 8, and 6 at-bats to go for them. 18 outs. Two balls and a strike to Alvaro Espinosa. Espinosa 0 for 1 on the evening, a ground out to short in the 1st. Came in at hitting 262. Whoa, hits that hard right to Lyons at 3rd. Right on the button, and got 2 steps out of the bag and out of the box, and he was out. No luck there. Espy hits this one right on the button, George.
Sometimes they fall, sometimes they don't, and Lyons is right in the right place at the right time.
Can't be too upset about hitting the ball in the nose like that. I mean, if hitters are scream and kick and scratch when they make outs like that, but I'll tell you, deep down mentally, they got to say, you just keep doing that, you're going to get your base hits. Somehow you forget the little flares that go in and drop in there. Kelly, foul ball.
One note, Tom. Mets right fielder Darryl Strawberry sat out tonight's game with Montreal due to a fractured small toe on his right foot. He sustained the injury yesterday when he was hit by Kevin Gross in the 1st inning. Had x-rays taken today, and his status is going to be determined later tonight, but the toe is definitely broken. Now the National League scores. Mets 5, Montreal 2. That's in the 4th inning. First of 2, St. Louis beat Philadelphia the final 6-4 in the National League. Chicago and Pittsburgh, they're now in the bottom of the 5th inning with the Cubs leading 3-2. They're waiting on this one in Atlanta due to the rain, and everything else is a little bit later. Los Angeles and San Diego, Houston and San Francisco.
No balls, 2 strikes on Roberto Kelly. Pops it up on the right side. Greg Walker should handle that one easily, and he does. 2 outs for the Yanks here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Ricky Henderson.
Yanks came in tonight at 1 game under 500, 33 and 34 with Cleveland there, 5.5 back of Baltimore Orioles, who lead this American League East. I think it's a good weekend. They took 3 out of 4 from the Rangers. The White Sox came in here at 25 and 44. Ricky Henderson hits the ball hard down the left field line, foul. The White Sox came in 25 and 44, 17 games behind the Oakland Athletics in the American League West. Only the Philadelphia Phillies have won fewer games. Chicago has won 25. Philadelphia has won 23.
And the Phillies today gave their manager, Nick Leyva, a new contract for next year, an extension, as they are in the middle of rebuilding.
Yes, they are. And you have to have some stability from your manager if you do that. Popped up on the right side, and Ron Calderon should put it away. It's a very easy 1-2-3 inning for Jerry Royce here in the 4th. And after 4 innings, the White Sox lead the Yankees 11-3. We're now going to pause for station identification.
Ever wondered what the personal computer was really invented for? Well, this is it. It's called Prodigy, a new computer service that makes it this simple to find great values from home, this simple to shop from dozens of merchants from home, this simple to bank, book the best airline fares, get stock quotes, all from home. And it's just $9.95 a month. Prodigy, from a partnership of IBM and Sears. Finally, what the PC was invented for. See the Prodigy service demonstrated at a dealer near you.
This is WPIX, New York.
This year, 90 million people complained about the weather. 10 million complained about waiting in line. 60 million complained about their bosses. But according to J.D. Power's latest survey of new car owners, there were fewer complaints about the Nissan Maxima than any other car, which makes the Nissan Maxima the most trouble-free car sold in America, and leaves Maxima owners free to complain about more important things.
Next time on an all-new episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, Troy's mother is on a manhunt for a new husband.
A Betazoid woman, when she goes through this phase, quadruples her sex drive.
Now, Picard's hiding in the holodeck to escape wedlock.
Perhaps we should consider my alternate plan.
And Riker is the next man she hopes to seduce.
Married until death us do part.
On an all-new episode of Star Trek The Next Generation.
Saturday at 7 on Channel 11.
What's wrong, Vince? My woman's done left me, my dog ran away, and people still aren't wearing their safety belts.
Aw, Vince, you singing those buckle up blues again?
Some people don't wear their seat belts. I can't believe it's true. Those kind of people get knocked right out of their shoes. So buckle up, baby. Don't sing me those buckle up blues.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
I mean it, baby. Buckle, honeysuckle, buckle, yeah.
Lance McCullers on to pitch for the Yankees here in the top of the 5th inning. McCullers making his 26th appearance of the year with a 2-2 record. Earned run average over 5. 33 innings pitched, 33 hits. 18 walks and 35 strikeouts. Good numbers there. Both pitchers had started tonight's game. The opponents hitting over 300 on them. A tough night for Dale Mahorsic, George.
The numbers were not good for him. 3 1/3, 7 runs, 3 of them earned, 7 hits, no strikeouts, no walks, and 1 hit batter for Dale Mahorsic in his 3 1/3 innings of work.
So McCullers will face Ozzie Guillen, Dave Gallagher, and Steve Lyons for the White Sox. One thing about being a long reliever, you got a chance to be right back in there tomorrow night. With 3 innings, it may take a couple of days before he gets back in, but it's better than being starting pitcher and getting knocked out. Ozzie Guillen leads off the 5th here for the White Sox, and the beat goes on. Another base hit number 12 for Chicago. That'd be a smiling Walt Rainiac in that dugout on the White Sox side. Of course, Rainiac coming over from the Boston Red Sox. There you see the scoreboard here at Yankee Stadium. 11-12-1 for Chicago, 3-6-1 for the Yanks. 18 hits, 14 runs in the game so far. And bring up Dave Gallagher. who is 2 for 3. He's been on base all 3 times, scored a couple of runs. 2 singles, and was on when Espinoza booted his ball in the 4th inning.
Talk about a leadoff batter. This is the 5th inning, and it's his 4th time to the plate. Talking about a night's worth of work. One of those nights at Yankee Stadium.
2 balls and a strike to Gallagher. White Sox back here tomorrow. Left-hander Greg Hibbard will be pitching for the White Sox against Andy Hawkins. You know, you can look at those numbers. Sometimes numbers really tell, George. You look at the numbers on that stat sheet and you see those ERAs, and I just had a feeling that it was going to be a high-scoring game. Ricky hustling back, misjudged it, and now catches up to it. Gallagher hit that ball hard. Ricky turned and sprinted for the fence and got on the wrong side of it. Made a good recovery to get back to the ball, George.
He puts a hurt on the fence with this one, too. Gallagher's been right on the ball all night long, and he gets good word on this. Henderson turns the wrong way, comes back, reacts. Now he knows he hits the warning track, and the wall's right behind him. Makes the catch, holds onto the baseball, and gets it in. So while some fans were getting on Ricky the other day,
base hit down in the corner. Lyons on the first pitch, and a busted bat gets a double. The Yankees looking at runners on 2nd and 3rd again here in the top of the 5th inning.
I was saying, Tom, while some people were getting on Ricky the other day, today he's come up with 2 outstanding plays in the field.
You know, the other day they got all over him in the field for not hustling. And to me, it's a veteran player. He went for a ball that, and all of a sudden he couldn't catch it. He knew the base runner was going to get to 2nd. The only thing he had to do was prevent him from going to 3rd. There was going to be no play whatsoever at 2nd base. Harold Baines, base hit, right field. That's going to score 1, maybe 2. No, Rainiac holds up Lyons. And Billy Connors out of the dugout. Pitching coach for the Yankees will pay a little visit to Lance McCullers.
The bullpen certainly has not held him so far tonight. A shot by Baines, but when you look at Mohorsic and now McCullers, the White Sox just have had the hit and choose on tonight.
Well, they have a ball club that can score some runs. Now, the Yankees need innings out of McCullers here. And we are only in the top of the 5th inning. And they've got to get themselves deeper into the ball game. Or else they'll be, pitching staff will be washed up by Thursday. Ivan Calderon at the plate. Runners on the corners for the White Sox. They have added to their lead and now lead at 12-3. Popped up on the right side. Barfield makes the play and holds Lyons at 3rd base. Jesse Barfield with a terrific arm.
And that was one of those plays where you knew Barfield was going to air it out to the plate. A straight shot down the line, and the same respect you knew this shallow as he keeps coming in, the chances of anybody breaking from 3rd. Jesse didn't expect Lyons to break from 3rd either.
I think I said Walt Rainiac before, George, at 3rd base. Ron Clark is holding the White Sox runner Steve Lyons up at 3rd base. Ron Clark, the coach for the White Sox at 3rd, not Walt Rainiac. I'll bring up Greg Walker. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. We would run in, and still White Sox have runners at the corners. Lyons at 3rd, Harold Baines at 1st. That evens the count out at 1-1. Walker 0 for 1 on the night. He has 2 base on balls, one of them intentional, and has tapped back to the mound. Hard up the middle, that'll score another one. One almost took McCullers' head off. Well, Greg Walker with his 10th RBI of the season, and Steve Lyons scoring makes it 13-3. Chicago.
Well, the White Sox are hopeful that what happened last night and what is happening tonight is a positive sign for them. The Yankees, after getting a day off, and you can see Dallas Green shaking his head, it's one of those evenings. Everything you throw up is coming right back at you and back up third.
I think that's very appropriate. Throw up.
Bing, bang, bong.
Bring up Pudge. Yankee pitchers pitching from the stretch a lot tonight. And White Sox runners on everywhere. Pudge looking to add to the total. Pudge 19 home runs last year for Chicago. One less than their club leader Danny Pasquale. You see Harold Baines at first. Greg Walker Baines at second, Walker at first. One less than Danny Pasquale, but he was in 53 fewer games. It's 25 hits for number 2000. And he's tied with Yogi. Home runs by catcher in 306. Right field base hit. Will Baines score? No, he's being held by Ron Clark. And once again, the respect of the arm of Jesse Barfield in right field keeps a runner at third base. But another hit for the White Sox. That's number 16 on the evening. And we are still in the top of the 5th inning. And Danny Pasquale comes to the plate. The man had a 3-run home run last inning. 2 for 3 on the night. One of the problems that McCullers has is that he has difficulty getting his off-speed pitch over, and he tries to power pitch everything. Tries to muscle everything through the strike zone. Just like that. If he could do it like that consistently, it would be fine. But then there are times that he tries to throw it a little bit harder than that. And ends up throwing it at a slower speed. Bases loaded for the White Sox. Baines, Walker, and Fisk for Danny Pasquale. 2 outs here. A couple of runs in the top of the 5th.
Dallas Green is faced with a very difficult decision here. If it continues like this, you don't want to completely blow out your bullpen, especially with the stretch of games and the fact that the Yankees go on the road this weekend.
Left field, Ricky Henderson should make the play. So McCullers gets out of further injury, but 2 more runs for the White Sox on 5 hits. They leave 3. We go to the bottom half of the 5th. Chicago leads it 13-3.
I love this game. I love to win, and I have, in college and in the pros. So I've had some experience celebrating. And you know, the way you celebrate says as much about you as the winning does. So do it right. Be responsible. Take care of yourself and your friends. Know when to say when.
A reminder from Anheuser-Busch.
Come on, little brother, keep up. I found the perfect spot to put my dream house.
The way you work, you'll have to retire to use it.
I'm thinking about it.
Retirement. Your money should work harder than ever. Marine Midland Professionals and a Marine Gain Savings Plan can help.
What do you think?
What's the story?
Next year,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 1
The business is all yours.
Marine Gain Savings from Marine Midland. Let's work it out together.
Invasion of privacy. Assassination of character.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Your brother's been shot.
Hoover versus the Kennedys. Wednesday at 8 on Channel 11.
If you want to make it big in the bullpen, you got to have nerves of steel. You got to have ice water in your veins. And you got to have that killer instinct. And you got to have a good pair of shades. That late inning sun can be brutal.
On Sunday, July 2nd, the Yankees host the Brewers, and Milk Duds Candies presents Sunglasses Day. All fans at the stadium will receive a pair of Yankee sunglasses, compliments of Milk Duds Candies.
The 1989 Yankees. It's a whole new ball game.
Back at the stadium, we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning with the White Sox 13-16-1, the Yankees 3-6-1. Dallas Green marching up the dugout, trying to cheer on his troops and get something going once again.
Darrell Boston in for the White Sox in left field in place of Dan Pasqua. I can tell you what Dallas Green was saying, George. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning, and you're getting a professional speech right there. You act and conduct yourself as professionals the rest of the way. You work hard, you run everything out, and you give it 100% regardless of what the score is. It's one of those crummy days that just are going to happen in a 162-game schedule. Let's not get our heads down and not feel sorry for ourselves. Steve Sachs popped up down the right field side into the seats.
Well, you know, Tom, the reality this year, too, is that no lead is safe. Remember the Pittsburgh Pirates ahead by 10 runs? And,
exactly right.
You know, fine ball player, now broadcaster Jim Rooker said, we're ahead 10-0, and if we lose this lead, I'll walk home. They lost the lead, and now it's the truth. He's trying to raise money for a charity. He's going to walk. He lives about 200 miles away. He's going to raise money in the offseason for a charity. But you never know this year. The way things have gone, it can happen.
Yes, it can.
But more than anything, I think it's a gut check. It's a check of what kind of intestinal fortitude you have.
It's a pride, that's right. It's a little pride speech. You got to have a little bit of pride here, boys. Sachs flies out to left field. First out for the Yankees here in the 5th.
Have to have a little pride and have to have a little trivia, too.
Okay, a little
Time
trivia.
for the trivia question. Tonight's trivia, who holds the Major League record for the most World Series games played? Who holds the Major League record for the most World Series games played? Have the answer a little bit later.
Bring up Don Mattingly with one out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. A couple hours old this game is already, and we are in the bottom of the 5th. But we have had 16 runs and 22 hits. Mattingly 1 for 2. Now 1 for 3. Came in hitting .299, and it's going to be right around that 300 mark now. The White Sox have had a 4-run inning, a 5-run inning, and a couple of 2-run innings. Steve Balboni up with 2 outs for the Yanks. Steve 1 for 2, and our RBI single in the 1st inning. Flew out to left in the 2nd. 7 home runs, 25 RBIs on the year.
This could be one of those nights where Jerry Royce says, there but for the grace of God go I, as Richard Dotson left the game in the 1st inning after he gave up 4 runs, and Royce gave up 3 in the 1st and was in trouble.
And in trouble big time is right. Good slow curveball. A ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Survived the 1st, and he's thrown Zippo since then.
And he has retired 9 men in a row so far. Nobody on base since the double by Mattingly in the 2nd inning. More slow curveballs.
And as the game builds, Jerry Royce's experience is valued, and the guy behind the plate's experience really chips in here too.
Oh, and how. Hit hard left field. That might be gone. It is. Bingo on a 2-2 pitch. Steve Balboni, home run number 8. And the Yankees lead it 13-4 now. Well, fans, you know what happens every time a Yankee hits a home run. Hey, Steve Balboni, this bud's for you.
A big number 50 earlier came up with a run-scoring single that gave the Yankees their second run, and here he hops all over this one.
Jesse Barfield now for the Yanks with 2 outs. Jesse, a strikeout victim in the first inning, the lone strikeout that Royce has recorded tonight, and has bounced out to short. Jesse down to 222 as an average. You look at 2 pretty strong men right there. And another one at the plate. Jesse hitting just over 220. He's hitting about 240 since he has been with the Yankees. Looks like Jerry Royce tried to slip a little fastball by Steve after all that stop stuff. Didn't quite get it by him, did he?
Too far over the plate a little bit.
Out over the plate. This guy has more wins than the rest of his staff combined. Has more time service than the rest of the staff combined. And one veteran on this White Sox staff. A hard single by Barfield.
The one luxury you have with a 10-run lead is you just can lay it out there and let him hit a little bit and hope that, especially with 2 outs, that even if you hit it hard, it's going to find its way to somebody's glove as Steve Rosenberg gets up in the White Sox bullpen.
The theory of a pitcher in this situation, with a 10-run lead, and now it's a 9-run lead as Brookins steps in for the Yanks. Tom 1 for 2 on the night. Is that you don't walk anybody. Base on balls, no, you don't walk anybody. You don't necessarily throw it down the middle of the plate, popped up to center field. But you might come off the corners a little bit more. A little mix-up in center between Gallagher and Calderon. Gallagher puts it away. We're out number 3 here in the 5th. The Yankees come up with a run and a couple of hits. They still trail it by 9, 13-4.
Coming up on USA Tonight after the Yankee game, actor William Hurt engages in a war of words with his ex-girlfriend's attorney on his second day on the stand. And Reds manager Pete Rose defends himself against gambling charges. Also stay tuned for tonight's lottery drawing.
Ready to fall in love? Then fly to Burger King for the new international chicken sandwiches. Succumb to the Italian with the mozzarella and marinara sauce. Lust after the French with Swiss cheese and ham. Give in to the American with cheese, lettuce, and tomato. But hurry in before they all say, ciao.
Pick up a cruise around the Big Apple Cup at Burger King. Peel the label, and you could win a cruise aboard the Spirits of New York or New Jersey, or a cruise on Bermuda Star Lines. Details at participating Burger Kings.
The same card that gives you a year-end summary of your charges, a 24-hour travel service, cash access at home and abroad, and so many other sensible services. Also has no preset spending limit. For when you finally run into that 1953 XK120. The American Express Gold Card.
It's smoother than glass, smoother than ivory, twice as smooth as Teflon, and 6 times smoother than Gillette's White Strip. Introducing the Wilkinson Sword Ultra Glide Blade with a remarkable new blue Ultra Glide Strip. In a recent test, men preferred it to Gillette. Ultra Glide from Wilkinson Sword. It's smoother than.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees and WPIX and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the written consent of the Yankees is prohibited.
Fred Manrique, Ozzie Guillen, and Dave Gallagher here for the White Sox in the top of the 6th. A 13-4 ball game. Manrique, a run-scoring single in the first, and a couple of outs after that. He's 1 for 3, and now 1 for 4 with a ground out to third. 5-3 if you're scoring. We'd like to send along our congratulations to Fort Hamilton High School, the first city championship that they have ever won. They beat Abraham Lincoln High School here at Yankee Stadium yesterday, 10-3. George Grande and Phil Rizutto and myself to Fort Hamilton. Congratulations. Job well done, men.
Boy, don't you think they'll remember the day they played in Yankee Stadium? That was a tremendous moment for those players.
You know, when I went down to USC, I went to junior college for a year in Fresno after high school. Ozzie Guillen, the hitter for the White Sox here in the 6th. I came out of high school, went in the Marine Corps for a year, and then I went to junior college for a year, and then I went to SC. SC being because George went to SC, SC meaning the University of Southern California. And that's up toward the booth. No balls and 2 strikes on Ozzie. I went down to USC and there was a pitcher there named John Herbst. Big, tall left-hander. John Herbst, that's right. Call him Horseface was his nickname. And he told me, and one of the things that I will never forget, he told me about he had made the trip to New York City, popped up to left field, and Ozzie Guillen is out for number 2 here in the 6th inning. He told me he made the trip to New York City and played a high school All-American All-Star game at Yankee Stadium. And that was one of the most amazing things I ever heard as a young kid in Fresno. And here was another, what were we, 19 years old, and he had been back and not only, been here just to see the stadium, but had participated in the All-American high school baseball game from players all around the country. They used to get them, what was it like, and who'd you meet, and who was this? They didn't meet anybody. There was nobody there. They were on the road. What a thrill. And those kids from Fort Hamilton yesterday, it had to be a big thrill for them. 2 outs here for the White Sox in the top of the 6th. Sitting on a 9-run lead, 13-4. Dave Gallagher, the hitter, 2 for 4 on the night. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2s all around. Gallagher hitting .292 now. He came in at .289, has added a couple of points to that total. Chicago hitting .261 as a team. Of course, 46 home runs they have. New York hitting .262 with 46 home runs.
Okay, right now both the Red Sox and the White Sox are pleased with what's happened with their hitting situation. Of course, Reniak. There's a base hit to right field by Gallagher. Reniak comes over to Chicago. They're up a bundle over where they were last year, and the Red Sox are where they usually are too, with Richie Hebner in first place in hitting in the American League. So it's worked out well for both so far.
Gallagher, his 3rd hit on the night. Number 17 for the White Sox. Bring up Steve Lyons, who 2 for 3, a couple of hits, single and a double. And on base 3 times, a walk in the 1st inning. Richard Dotson, a very tough night. Started for the Yankees here. It's just 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 4 runs, 4 hits, and 3 walks. Could not make it out of the 1st inning. It was done in by a line drive off of Espinosa's glove. And Fred Manrique. Skied to center field by Lyons. And we're Roberto Kelly puts it away. For the White Sox in the 6th, they get a hit. They score nobody, and there's one left. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 13-4, White Sox.
American business can save millions of dollars every year with the UPS Next Day Air letter. Unlike other companies which frequently charge up to $14, UPS, because we're so efficient, charges only $8.50. And we guarantee overnight delivery to every address, coast to coast. The UPS Next Day Air letter, the super saver of overnight letters.
Great uniform. It's 3 a.m. What's wrong?
I don't know. The house, family, the future. Sometimes I just want to be a kid again.
You're building a life. Marine Midland Professionals and a Marine Gains Savings Plan can help build the foundation.
Come on, kid. It's past your bedtime.
Marine Gains Savings from Marine Midland. Let's work it out together.
John, Dr. Pullman's office. Remember your gum surgery appointment Monday. Have a nice day.
Yeah, this is Al at the garage. Your car has problems, big problems.
This is your landlord, or should I say ex-landlord. Your lease is history, and so are you.
If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Harris, your Channel 11 weatherman. How would you like to see your weather photos on the air? Just send your best photo to Weather Pics, care of Bob Harris, WPIX TV, 11 WPIX Plaza, New York, New York, 117.
Back at the stadium, 13-4, White Sox. Jeff Torborg, the manager of the White Sox, and I asked him about the one thing that really, though his club is having a tough year so far, one thing he is most proud of with his ball club. Here's what he had to say.
The thing that's really been so impressive for me is the character of our ball club, in the sense that we have struggled so much during the year, but I have never once seen our ball club hang its head. Collectively, this ball club comes out every day as though they had a great winning streak going, rather than maybe losing 11 out of 13 as we did in one stretch. And I think a manager can ask no more from his club than to give you 100% every day, and we have that.
A new pitcher on for the White Sox. John Davis. I met him before the game down in the White Sox clubhouse, and he looked like he could go.
The big young man.
Yes, he looked like if he's going to go hunting.
WWF material here.
Yeah, that's right. He'd go hunting. He isn't going to need any armament at all.
This is his initial appearance of 1989.
Don Slott, Espinosa, and Kelly, the scheduled batters for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 6th as they trail it by 9. Davis just reporting to the Chicago White Sox today. Back up from their AAA ball club. Down the right field line, and that's into the seats. Slott 1 for 2 on the evening. And an RBI double in the first inning when the Yankees bounced back after Chicago had scored 4. They scored 3. And they pop up the second and the third inning. Slott came in hitting .273. He's at .275 now. And a breaking ball gets him. One of the banes of facing the pitcher you've never seen before. You don't know what he has to work with.
Top tonight's trivia, the question, which gave you a little bit earlier, who holds the Major League record for most World Series games played? What player holds the Major League record for most World Series games played? And of course, it is number 8, Yogi Berra. 75 games played in the World Series. And Mr. Berra, of course, is tied with Carlton Fisk for the American League lead for the most number of total home runs as a catcher in the American League. 306.
Wayne Tollison will hit for Alvaro Espinosa. Oh, indeed, George. Espy's finger may have taken a little clip job, huh? May have pushed back the nail or bruised it or whatever. I don't know if he's going to be soaking it nice. If it is hurt, that's really what he should be doing. Probably bunting for a base hit. Ball will go foul. Count evens at 1-1.
Question is which finger it came off of. It looked like it was either the thumb or the index finger. His middle finger on his right hand. He had a ball in batting practice a few days ago bounce off that, so that one still was a little bit sore, but he's taken his beating on the hand in the last week or so. That ball just came up right in front of him and wasn't able to keep it in front of him. Had he been able to keep it in front, he might have had a play, but it just skidded off to the side.
One out for the Yanks here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Tolley hitting .203. Left-handed hitting just .139, and that is why he was trying to bunt for a base hit. Right back to Davis. Hit sharply, but right to Davis.
Davis was one of the players that came over from Kansas City, along with Melito Perez, Chuck Mount, and Greg Hibbert in exchange for Floyd Bannister and infielder Dave Cochran. That was during the winter meetings of 1987. Made his debut with the Kansas City Royals that year, was 5-2, and then spent part of last year with the White Sox where he was 2-5.
Has pitched mainly out of the bullpen. In Kansas City in '87, he was in 27 games, all of them in relief. Started one game for the White Sox last year. Kelly to Lyons. Strong arm by Steve Lyons at third base, and the Yankees are out 1-2-3. On the Burger King scoreboard, the score at the end of 6. The Chicago 13, Yankees 4. Now let's stop for take a pause for station identification.
It's smoother than glass, smoother than ivory, twice as smooth as Teflon, and 6 times smoother than Gillette's White Strip. Introducing the Wilkinson Sword Ultra Glide Blade with a remarkable new blue Ultra Glide Strip. In a recent test, men preferred it to Gillette. Ultra Glide from Wilkinson Sword. It's smoother than...
This is WPIX, New York.
How do you pick a winner?
First sale of the morning's always a lucky number for me.
I do nicely playing the next train to Poughkeepsie.
I turn it to the left, I turn it to the right. I do it once again, and I could win tonight.
Siêu thổi. Bực cá.
New York Win 4. Pick 4 lucky numbers and you could win up to $5,000 every day.
Thổi. Có ai ngộ phóng văn bài Win 4?
New York Win 4. Every day's a play day.
Rising inflation and higher gas prices looming overhead. Feel like a new car is out of reach?
Your Dodge dealer has the answer. It's Dodge Omni and Shadow, the cars that are as economical to drive as they are to buy. Now get big cash back. Shadow for as low as $80.70, Omni as low as $61.93. Both backed by our famous 770 protection plan. Or choose low financing from Dodge instead of cash back. Only at your Dodge dealer, where the new spirit shows.
Top of the 7th inning here at Yankee Stadium, and a long night for the Yanks so far. They're down by 9, 13-4, and Scooter is coming back to fill in for us here. Harold Baines leads it off for the White Sox. Baines, Calderon, and Greg Walker for Chicago here in the 7th. 13 runs, 17 hits for Chicago, 4 runs, 8 hits for the Yankees. And Scooter, I know that this is not your favorite kind of game, is it?
No, it certainly isn't, and it's very difficult for me to continue here. And I would like for you and who's doing play-by-play? Oh, you got to be kidding! Come on, we're losing 13-4. I can't do play-by-play. I want to tell you something. You guys are funny, you and Grande. You know, every word between innings, I'm listening. I'm sitting in one of the offices there, and I'm listening to the game. And Grande is giving his Bela Lugosi imitation, and you're laughing about a high school game. And that laugh, people should hear your laugh more up. The real Tom Seaver laugh is a riot. And meanwhile, Bob Phil makes the catch. And
who hit it?
I don't know who hit it. Oh, Baines. Oh, gee. I've had a lot of Baines with this game. I'll tell you, my stomach, my arm. But no, you guys are really funny. I'm telling you.
That story about this, that my friend at the University of Southern California coming back here for a high school all-star game, it's a true story.
It's a good story.
He was just like a 17-year-old kid when he came back here.
I guess so. But
I mean, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Brooklyn.
Okay, when was the first time you came to Yankee Stadium?
Long time. My Uncle Mike took me.
How old were you?
I was about 12 years old.
Well, that's... what time did you leave the ballpark?
About the 6th inning. All right, here's Calderon, and fouls it back out of play.
Was it not a thrill when you came to Yankee Stadium for the first time? It had to be.
I couldn't believe it. I walked all around the whole park.
What was the first big league ballpark you went into?
Ebbets Field. I was born in Brooklyn.
Sure.
I was a Dodger
So I would
fan.
think that you were a Dodger fan, huh?
When I was a kid, yes, till Casey Stengel told me I should get a shoe shine box, and I was too small to be a ball player.
You showed him, didn't you?
Oh, I would rub it in, but Casey and I never got along too well. And Calderon has just bounced out third to Fred. Really, Joe, I can't do this game. Dave and John Moore, I cannot do this game. George?
Scooter, I'll do it with you. Come on, we'll take turns here.
All right, go ahead. You get this guy. You know these guys better than I do.
I know. It's one of my good friends right there, Greg Walker, and I'm suffering with him.
With him?
He came in here, he came in here under 200. 198, but
okay.
base hit tonight got him over 200 now, 204. One of the things that people don't know about Greg Walker, and I say he's such a fine gentleman, a Southern gentleman. He had seizures last year and almost lost his life in Chicago. That's right. And well, if it weren't for Herm Schneider, he very well may have lost his life. Grounds out to first here, and a rarity. The White Sox go in 1-2-3 fashion. We go to the bottom of the 7th. The Yankees are still down by 9, 13-4.
It's the Big Dodge Truck Blitz, only at your Tri-State Dodge dealer. We've got lots of pickups in stock, and you can save up to $3,000 on rugged, full-size pickups. Or choose low financing on select trucks in stock. Get a mid-size Dakota as low as $85.72 after cashback. Or choose big cashback up to $2,000. We're really dealing on Ram tough trucks. Dodge Truck Blitz, only at your Tri-State Dodge dealer.
Choice's natural ingredients. It's Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. And best of all, it's for you.
You got the taste, this bud's for you.
Now even losing lottery tickets are worth some dough. Bring in any losing lottery ticket to participating Dunkin' Donuts and get $1 off a dozen donuts.
This is Channel 11, WPIX, New York.
I can't do it. Back at the stadium here, bottom of the 7th inning. The Yankees down by 9, and John Davis working his 2nd inning for the White Sox in relief of Jerry Royce. Ricky 0 for 2 on the night. Hits this ball hard to center field, but Dave Gallagher making like a split end and takes it over his shoulder.
Kid's a good-looking ball player, you know?
Ricky has hit several balls hard lately to center field, right on the nose. He hit some, and Jeff Kunkel of the Texas Rangers robbed him of a couple of base hits out there over the weekend. Gallagher got a good jump on the ball, and Ricky ends up with a fly ball to center. Bring up Steve Sachs. Sachs hitting .310, 1 through 3 tonight. "13 runs, 17 hits, and an error for Chicago. The Yanks 4 runs, 8 hits, and an error. Chicago scored 4 in the first. The Yankees came right back and scored 3 in the bottom of the first. Chicago added 2 in the third, 5 in the fourth, and 2 in the fifth. Ozzie Guillen very smoothly over to Greg Walker, and very quickly 2 outs. What do you think of this Ozzie Guillen, Scooter? Do you like him defensively?
I've always liked him. Always liked him.
Smooth-looking defensive player, isn't he?
I don't think there are better shortstops than the Latin Americans, with our own Alvaro Espinosa and Guillen. Of course, that goes back to Aparicio.
Aparicio, that's right. Well, now, from Venezuela, David Concepcion.
Right, and Aparicio.
Aparicio, that's exactly right. Odd that Ozzie Guillen traded from the San Diego Padres for Lamar Hoyt, now playing for the Chicago White Sox, just the way Aparicio did, right?
Right.
That's right. Mattingly pops up on the right field side, should be foul.
Yeah, Mattingly's upset. His timing is all off tonight.
This is the kind of game, if you don't concentrate, you can put yourself in a slump. This is a tough game. You've got to figure that the Yanks are going to have to do something ultra spectacular to win this one, down by 9 here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. It's really a personal confrontation. You really have to discipline yourself and actually be selfish and go out and try to get a base hit just for yourself, just for your own average. It's that kind of ball game.
Yeah, it really is. A lot of ball players, he's really mumbling to himself, Matt.
He's working on himself. He's trying to make himself concentrate. Listen, get yourself a hit. Probably the last time that he might get one more at-bat in the 9th. You know, but this may his last at-bat of the evening. Nope, he missed it.
Nope.
So the Yankees against young John Davis go 1, 2, 3. And we go to the 8th. Yankees down by 9, 13-4 to the White Sox.
Die-Hard, America's most trusted replacement battery. The one over 65 million have stepped up to. Now Sears introduces the most powerful Die-Hard battery ever. New Die-Hard, more power when you need it most.
Jack, are you having an affair?
What?
Are you having an affair?
Not this week.
Then what's with the new attitude? You think you're 16?
18.
What is it?
It's you.
I'm serious.
So am I.
New Thrive makes thinning hair look thicker and fuller. But it's not just what it does for your hair.
How serious?
It's what it does for your head.
Somewhere there's got to be a cure for athlete's foot.
Step up to the mic.
Mike.
Micatin. It cured my athlete's foot. It's got something the others don't. Miconazole.
There's nothing more powerful.
Hey! I'm giving away advice, not Micatin.
Say, what you got for my athlete's foot?
Step up to the mic.
Mike?
Micatin. It cures athlete's foot. There's even a deodorant Micatin.
Then I'll take the Micatin. To go.
Step up to the cure. Step up to the mic. Micatin. Look for new economy size powder.
Hit the road, Jack, and if you don't like them, we'll buy them back.
Road Handler Treadlocks. Test them for 1,000 miles. If you don't agree they're the toughest tires you've owned, Sears will buy them back.
Hit the road, Jack.
Road Handler Treadlocks at Sears. Tough tires you can trust.
What you say?
Back at the stadium here, the Yankees trail it by 9. 13-4, Scooter, and they've got 6 outs to get back to him if Lance McCullers can hold him. Carlton Fisk will lead off.
I tell you, this is tough. You're absolutely right. This is a tough kind of night. And yet it was a very close ball game in the early innings. White Sox scored 4 in the first, Yankees 3. Yankees almost tied it up and almost tied it up the next inning, and then the roof fell in. Remember, we were watching McCullers last time he pitched. Right now he's not doing it as much, but when he was throwing hard, his head was snapping towards first base.
It will snap because he tries to power everything. See it go?
Yeah.
Boom.
Holy
No, that's just a habit. He just is so strong and he is so physical up above in his chest that he just pulls his arm around. It could be tough from a mechanical standpoint. That's the kind of thing that you're so strong for a while, but in the long run you're going to hurt yourself physically. Pudge pops that one back out of play, and count ball and 2 strikes here in the top of the 8th.
He's had another good night. He was 4 for 4 last night, and they haven't gotten him out tonight so far.
He made an out in the 4th, Scooter.
He did?
Yeah, he popped up to 3rd.
Well, then whoever was keeping my score while I was busy fouled up here.
Well, he walked in the 1st. He got hit by a pitch in the 3rd. He popped up a little pop-up to Brookins in the 4th inning, and then he singled to right the last inning. Pudge hitting .288, having a good year with the bat. Strikes out leading off the 8th here for the White Sox. On the American League scoreboard, Oakland over Detroit 6-4, Minnesota 4-2 over the Indians in the 8th. Texas shutting out Boston in the 8th. Kansas City and Milwaukee, no score. Baltimore at Seattle, Toronto, California. Later on the West Coast. Dan Pasqua replaced Dan Pasqua in the 6th inning. Debo, as he is known in the Chicago clubhouse, hitting .212. Maybe the most gifted athlete on the Chicago White Sox team.
Who?
Darryl Boston.
You got to be kidding.
He has tremendous ability and has never really had the will to really get it out of himself. He has tremendous physical ability. Great arm, great speed. Hit hard. Good power.
Holy God. That went above.
That's above the railing. That's above the walkway. That's right.
Unbelievable.
But he's a very soft-spoken kid, and he's not one of the, he Mattingly's intensity at the plate.
Yeah.
I mean, how he just burns at the plate. Darryl just doesn't have that. He's just not that kind of individual.
Has he ever played steadily for enough
He's
time?
never done well enough to be able to play steadily. He has had bits and pieces with the White Sox and has been one of those players that is unlimited potential, and you wait for him to bust out. He has spent the entire year of '88 with them, but he only hit .217. Pops it up on the left side. See if Ricky can get there. He should and does. And there are 2 outs here in the 8th inning. On the National League scoreboard, Montreal losing to the Mets 5-3 in the 6th. A doubleheader, the Cardinals over the Phils 6-4, and in a rain day delay in Philadelphia in the 2nd game. Chicago 3-2 over Pittsburgh. That's in the 8th inning. Atlanta postponed against the Reds. LA, San Diego. Other action is later on the West Coast in the National League. Manrique up with 2 outs here for the White Sox in the top of the 8th inning. Espinosa, no, that's Tollison, excuse me. Wayne Tollison at shortstop, over to Mattingly. 1, 2, 3, 6 in a row. The White Sox have been retired by Lance McCullers. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Chicago's 13, Yankees 4.
It's the Big Dodge Daytona Blitz, only at your Tri-State Dodge dealer. We've got lots of Daytonas in stock, and you can get $1,000 cash back or 0% APR financing. Get a hot Daytona Shelby Turbo with your choice, 0% APR or $1,000 cash back. Or get a base Daytona as low as $87.34 after cash back. Hurry into your Dodge dealer today for best selection. Daytona Blitz, only at your Tri-State Dodge dealer.
It's just a pure and natural beer for you. So icy cold, so crisp, so clear for you. The king of beer, so fresh, so true for you. You got the taste, this bug's for you.
It's crazy. I mean, we're both working hard, making good money.
But you can't say we haven't tried hard enough.
But we just don't know how to handle it.
No, well, what if we just...
What?
I don't know, forget it.
What do we do?
2 careers building 1 future. Marine Midland Professionals and a Marine Extra account can help you get there.
Well, I gotta get back.
Yeah, me too.
Look at us. The Marine Extra account from Marine Midland. Let's work it out together.
Participating advertisers in New York Yankee baseball are Dodge. Visit your Tri-State Dodge dealer where the new Spirit shows. Budweiser Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. Marine Midland Bank. Let's work it out together. Burger King, where we do it like you do it. And by the New York Yankees. All right, Mel Hall, the batter. Yankees trailing 13-4. Swing and a foul tip. Ron Conkovice doing the catching now. So Conkovice catching. Whether that hit his bat or hit the ground. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Oh man, that's a mean-looking breaking pitch, and Hall is struck out.
Can't tell what that pitch was, Scooter. No, the curveball or the split finger. Kid looks a lot like Roger Clemens, doesn't he?
He does.
A bit taller than Roger.
Oh, man.
Think about that bottom dropped out of that. Either the hard slider or the breaking or the split finger, one of the two. Nasty pitch.
What'd you say this kid's name was?
John Davis.
John Davis. All right, here's Barfield. Barfield 1 for 3, single his last time up. Cut but missed, strike 1. You know, I had something very unusual happen to me today, Stephen. What? I had to speak to a group of which I was the youngest person there. Would you believe it? I couldn't believe it. I mean, these people, beautiful people at Rossmore Village. It's a community for senior citizens. But I mean, I thought, you know, I'd go in there and these people knew all about Ty Cobb and Shoeless Joe Jackson. They were teaching me. I mean, I had a great time. I couldn't believe it. I felt like a young colt.
Brought back some memories, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Deep center field, but plenty of room. And making the catch, Barfield's retired. 2 men out.
You know, we were talking before about the first stadium you went to.
Yes.
Which was Evansville. Yeah. You came here when you were about 12.
Where did you go?
First stadium I ever went to?
Yeah. You're from California, right?
That's right. Seal Stadium, where the San Francisco Giants played when they went out there before Candlestick was built. Which is a great stadium, by the way.
I played there. We played exhibition games.
Bet you
there.
did.
Of course, DiMaggio
played there a lot. I never saw a Pacific Coast League game. I grew up in California and saw a lot of California League games.
You never saw?
No, never saw a Pacific Coast League game. Saw the California State League, the Fresno Cardinals. They were Larry Jackson, remember the right-hander pitched there?
Yes. Yeah, that was a great ballpark. All right, here's Pags pinch hitting. He's trying a new stance again, one of many, and that's 0-2 the count.
What was your favorite ballpark to play in?
Fenway Park was always my favorite ballpark.
Great ballpark, isn't it?
Of course, it was the only park I could reach the fence, but it was just a great park to see in, you know, with everything green and fans so close to you, and struck them out. Impressive inning. So on the Dodge scoreboard now at the end of 8, it's the White Sox 13 and the Yankees 4.
Up on USA Tonight right after the game, beleaguered Cincinnati Reds manager Pete Rose speaks out on his alleged gambling. Mayoral candidate Rudolph Giuliani has come under fire from Haitian activists. We'll tell you why. Actor William Hurt is finding out just how much love hurts on his second day on the stand. We'll have the story. A West Palm Beach girl who sued her prom date for standing her up has reached a settlement with her absentee date. We'll have the latest. And all of Hollywood's going batty for the opening premiere of the movie Batman. All that and Jerry Gerard with sports.
Ready to fall in love with something new? Then fly to Burger King and be seduced by 3 new international chicken sandwiches with all white meat chicken. Succumb to the Italian with mozzarella and marinara sauce. Lust after the French with savory Swiss cheese and ham. Give in to the American with American cheese, lettuce, and tomato. Hurry in for the new international chicken sandwiches at Burger King before they all say, ciao.
Juice?
Very fine. The very finest.
Invasion of privacy. Assassination of character.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Your brother's been shot.
Hoover versus the Kennedys. Wednesday at 8 on Channel 11.
We're at the top of the 9th inning here at Yankee Stadium with the Yanks down by 9. 13-4, Ozzie Guillen, Dave Gallagher, and Steve Lyons for the White Sox. Guillen came in hitting at 229, and he is 2-for-4 tonight and raises average to 232. Scooter, getting back to these ballparks, you're talking about Fenway Park being your favorite, which I agree happens to be my favorite ballpark I ever pitched in, too.
Pitching?
Loved it. I absolutely loved pitching there.
That's unusual.
Both with and against the White Sox. Guillen grounds it to short, 1 out for the White Sox here in the top of the 9th. Bring up Dave Gallagher. The wall and left field kept balls in. I felt it was an advantage for the type of pitcher that I was, an advantage for the pitcher.
Now this is unusual. I never heard any pitcher say they, outside of Mel Parnell.
I didn't give up any big, long, high towering home runs. You know, most home runs I gave up were rockets.
Well, you're right.
I mean, boom. You know, and the Rockets
didn't have time to get up that high.
They didn't get up very high. That's exactly right.
That's very unusual.
Gallagher raises average
How about
to 294 here. Now, I never got to saw Ebbets Field. No, I didn't get to the Mets until 1967.
Are you that young?
I'm 44. 43. I'm 44.
What's the old
I don't know. It's one of those.
Players lie about their age. They're like women.
And especially pitchers.
Well, listen, they get you to stay around another year or two.
How about the other ballparks?
Well,
Detroit, you like Detroit?
Yeah. That was a great
good ballpark. Great infield there.
Oh,
great
geez.
infield.
And there was,
how about Comiskey Park?
It wasn't bad for me. I liked it, but a lot of those guys didn't like it. Those days, the fences were too far.
We have a little disturbance here on the field. An uninvited guest, I guess. Excitement everywhere tonight, Scooter.
Yes, there is.
Hit hard to third, Pag. Good pickup. Two ground outs for the White Sox here in the top of the ninth. Played by Mike Pagliarulo. Uh-oh, wait a minute here. What is this, Scooter?
Oh, that's not... Morgana's daughter is out there. How do you like that? He didn't look like he was trying to get away too much, did he?
No, he was let go a little faster, right? Let go a little slower. Steve Lyons enjoying it. The attendance here at the stadium tonight, 20,750, 20750. Lyons has had himself a pretty good night. A couple of hits, 2 for 4. What about the ballpark up in Minnesota?
I never
Metropolitan Stadium. Didn't play there?
Never played there, no.
How about Washington Ballpark, the old Washington Ballpark?
Oh, man, that was, I mean, that left field was really 9 miles down there.
Is that right?
Yeah, no, I wasn't too happy playing down. Not that for home runs, but the heat was very oppressive.
Tough down
like
there.
St. Louis, a lot like St. Louis. And you played there, I know.
Oh, yeah. I never played in the old ballpark in St. Louis.
Well, that was a rock pile. That was both teams played on that. And never
Is that right?
Oh, it's like Philadelphia.
The Browns and the Cardinals both played,
huh? The Cardinals and the A's and the Phillies used to play in Connie Mack Stadium.
Yeah. You like Connie Mack?
Yeah, I like that park. Yeah, I like Ebbets Field, and I like all those old parks.
I did too. Steve Lyons grounds it to Sachs at second. Three ground outs for the White Sox here in the ninth inning. No hits, no runs, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the ninth. White Sox lead at 13-4.
Good evening. The White House has formally denounced the death sentences given to China's democracy protesters. Secretary of State Baker wants to suspend high-level exchanges with China. Former Georgia Congressman Pat Swindle has been convicted on charges related to a money laundering operation. Sentencing of Oliver North has been postponed to July 5th. The defense charges one of the jurors used drugs before the trial. For the Independent News, I'm Marvin Scott.
For an ice cold bud?
And where does she come from?
There's a new generation at the Daily News.
I find my best stories out on the street.
Mike McAlary.
Wait a minute. You sure about that?
Bob Herbert.
On my way.
New voices that will take you to places you can't ordinarily go. To meet people you won't ordinarily see.
There's a new generation at the Daily News.
New York's hometown paper.
There's a new kind of TV on the way. It's what you might call a breakthrough.
We got a couple of famous twosomes on Channel 11, like Oscar and Felix, Ralph and Alice, and Sam and Diane. Get twice the laughs on Cheers. Weeknights at 7 and 11 on Channel 11.
Well, Thomas, a little action when Right now he's just completing a home run trot.
First pitch, Don Slott, home run to left field here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's another look at it, Scooter. Fastball right down the middle, and he just flat turns it right around. Boston watches it
really
sail into the seats for Slott's second home run of the season.
His what?
Second home run of the season.
That's all?
That's all I got. You want me to check it? I'll double check it here.
Why I was surprised. Last year he got some start.
It's his first home run since April 16th.
Wow.
Wayne Tollison, the batter here. Yankees with a run. They now trail it by 8. They need 8 to tie it, 9 to win.
We have seen games like that. Not only in Fenway.
That's right. They need a touchdown and a field goal to win. You know, with Eddie Robinson here, you're thinking football, right?
It was great to see him. He really looks good. Whoops, struck him out.
Davis with that good breaking ball gets Tolley, his 4th strikeout victim. It is nasty. I think it is a breaking ball. That's right. That is not the split finger. That is a good, hard breaking ball. Too hard for the curveball.
It reminded me of yesterday. He needed a wedge to hit that. And it was a great golf tournament for the New York School for the Deaf. Cy Evans and Carl Hofer were the chairman and co-chairman. And all the hockey players were there. And I want to tell you,
Scooter, that was a great segue you had there.
I know. But
that was a great segue.
It's late and I almost didn't get it in, Tom. I'd completely forgotten about it. But it is such a great charity.
Did you play?
Yeah, well, I mean, I hacked it around with one hand. But I
shoot 78?
No. We might have won the team low ball. I'd have been checked.
I wouldn't be surprised. Believe me, I wouldn't be surprised. Roberto Kelly hard up the middle. Sitting on a 2-0 pitch. Gets the fastball right down the middle, and Kelly has his second base hit on the night. A couple of singles. He singled in the second and now picks up another single here in the 9th inning. The Yankees 2 hits in the 9th. They need a huge rally.
Yep. That kid had retired 10 in a row before Slott homered.
Ricky Henderson with 1 out. Kelly goes uncontested to second base, and I don't believe that will be a stolen base.
No, the other night they didn't get somebody's. No stolen base.
The White Sox willing to concede 7 more runs if they had to. Ricky 0 for 3 on the night. A walk in the first, and then a fielder's choice in the second, and a couple of flyouts in the 4th and the 7th. His average down to 244. Dave Gallagher made a fine running play in center field on a ball that Ricky hit right on the nose in the 7th inning. 13-5, the White Sox lead the Yankees here. In the bottom of the 9th inning, the Yanks have scored a run on Don Slott's home run. Chicago scored 4 in the first. The Yankees countered with 3 in the bottom of the first, and then the White Sox added 2 in the 3rd, 5 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. They lead at 13-5.
What's unusual about this game, 18 runs scored, 27 hits and 2 errors, and it's going to be less than 3 hours. And we have played ball games 3-2 that have gone a lot longer than this game, unless that clock's wrong.
No, that's right. And the game has gone fast from the like the 6th inning on. It's been very quick. Davis has pitched very well.
Yep.
And McCullers pitched very well after the 1 inning. They came into the 5th in relief, and he pitched very well in the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th.
No, sir, it ain't over till it's over.
As our friend Yogi says, right? It ain't over till it's over.
Ricky, as we mentioned earlier, had vetoed any trade or sale to the Giants that the Yankees might have been thinking about.
Hard up the middle. And Ricky pulls up with his first base hit of the evening. Another run across for the Yankees as Roberto Kelly scores. Ricky picks up his 22nd RBI on the season, and the Yanks now trail up by 7.
That bench, I tell you, they're stealing this ball game. You never can tell. One thing about baseball, you can't stall. Jeff Torborg coming out. He's seen things happen like this before.
Jeff Torborg coming out to talk to his young pitcher, John Davis. Davis just reporting to the White Sox today. Ozzie Guillen in there getting his 2 cents in, and Ron Karkovice, who replaced Carlton Fisk. Davis 6'7", about 220 pounds. Big, strong, country-looking kid. Long pair of legs on him.
Yeah.
So the Yanks with a couple of hits here in the 9th and a couple of runs. Still looking at a 7-run deficit. Steve Sax steps in. Sax 1 for 4 on the night. Scored a run in the first inning. There goes Ricky, uncontested. The White Sox playing Greg Walker back at his defensive position at first base, conceding second base. They do not want another base hit. They don't care if Ricky scores. Sax, who hits the ball very well to the right side, and they want to cut that hole down over there. With a 7-run lead, you can take a couple of liberties. 2 balls and a strike on Sax. Pass for time from home plate umpire Larry Young.
Here's a guy that never wastes time at bat. He bears down every time at bat, regardless of the score.
Bounces second, and Steve Sax is out for the 2nd out of the inning. And the Yanks are down to their final out of the evening. Don Mattingly. One for 4 on the night, a double in the 2nd. RBI ground out in the 1st. Picked up his 43rd RBI in the 1st inning. And did indeed get 5 at-bats tonight. Right on top of the plate. Breaking ball down and in.
That's where they used to throw at Mantle all the time.
They can move those legs. See, he's very close to the plate. That's a breaking ball down and in. A little slider, a little cut fastball. Hit hard right field. Foul. That gives you an idea how far Darryl Boston hit that foul ball, doesn't it?
Sure, that's about 12 rows less than what Boston hit it.
And John Davis trying to work Don Mattingly inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're on the bottom of the 9th inning. The Yanks down by 7. 13-6. Ricky Henderson at third base. Hit hard to first. Greg Walker. Ooh. Who's going to win the race? Walker wins it, and the White Sox win this one. First game of the 3-game series against the Chicago White Sox here at the stadium. A long night for both teams, but the Chicago White Sox very happy as they come out on top. Young John Davis doing a good job in relief for Jeff Torborg and his Chicago White Sox. A line score for the White Sox, 13 runs on 17 hits in an error. The Yankees, 6 runs, 11 hits in an error. So the Yankees lose this one by 7 runs. We'll be back in a minute after a commercial break.
In the theater, the actor communicates his feelings through the simple power of the spoken word. In the real world, we have all this technology, computers and fax machines, and they're supposed to help us communicate better and faster. Well, I don't know about you, but I think they're making life a lot more complicated. Most of these machines don't even speak the same language. Now, Bell Atlantic has a communications network so intelligent, it links up this technology so the machines can understand each other, and we get our information more quickly, more efficiently. It's called the Bell Atlantic Intelligent Network, and it'll make our businesses and our lives a whole lot easier. The Intelligent Network from Bell Atlantic. Communications just got simple again.
Happy birthday. You're 48 today, huh? So far, so good. Great family. College next year for Mike, then Kim. Steady, you could handle it.
Marine Midland Life Loans and Marine Midland professionals with a lifetime of experience can help you face your family's needs.
Dad, come on.
Hold on. Talking to somebody about your future.
Life Loans from Marine Midland. Let's work it out together.
Kids are half price and adults save $5 with coupons at participating Roy Rogers.
Well, that's it from Yankee Stadium. A long night for the Yankees. Final score again, White Sox 13, the Yankees 6. The winning pitcher, Jerry Royce, he's 7-2. The losing pitcher, Richard Dotson, 2-4. Be sure to join us on our next telecast on Friday, June 23rd at 8:30 when the Yankees face the Kansas City Royals here on the Yankee Baseball Network. For George Grande, Phil Rizutto, this is Tom Seaver. Good night, everybody.